This is session 4 of you guys who I've been taken to calling the Freemen because I run a few groups and I don't know how to distinguish you guys.
You can call us those guys.
Those guys.
You can call us those guys.
As a quick recap, you guys have been taken away, you guys escaped from the very beginning from your drow prison and found your way into this strange, misty area called Barovia. You've traveled through forests and through a haunted house, and eventually found your way to the village of Barovia, where you've encountered that the village itself is fairly abandoned. There's a few people there, and everyone that you've met seems to be very unfriendly and very hesitant to talk to you guys, partly because Pavuu is about 8 feet tall and 700 pounds.
350.
and very great.
He's like, I've been doing CrossFit. You get the town itself is dreary, and you've noticed a lot of strange markings on all the buildings. Wolf marks, like claws and bites, and the occasional burn mark covers pretty much every building in this town. You found your way to a inn, or not an inn, sorry, a tavern, which does not have an inn attached, I found. Inside this tavern, you met the man Ismark Kolyanovich. Ismark, also known as Ismark the Lesser, is a looker, and he has revealed to you that he is now the current burgomaster, the mayor of this town. His father has died about a week past. Rhivan, do you have a question? Oh, sorry. Who polymorphs Corvus into a cat? Okay.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Like...
No, I was volunteering to polymorph, so it's a service I provide.
Polymorphing anyone who's not around?
Yes. One of many services at my disposal.
I thought you were just interrupting me like a really polite student.
No, I just flat out interrupt if I'm going to do that. So
of course, there you go. So Ismark is the burgomaster of this town now. His father has died about a week ago. He has told you that he is the brother of Ireena Kolyana, a woman who you read a letter about in previously. This letter was from the previous burgomaster. The letter was written to basically anybody who could read this letter, saying, "Get out of Barovia, leave us alone. My daughter, my adopted daughter, Ireena, was bitten by a vampire and needs you guys to get out." Sorry, I'm distracted, like not to use the teacher analogy, but
we're passing notes.
I can see you guys texting. I can see your phones. Ismark has invited you guys to stay at his mansion, as there's no working inn in this town, and most of the houses are abandoned. He tells you that you guys are visitors, and when he says visitors, he's saying it with like a capital V. You guys are visitors to this land, and you're getting this sort of feeling like they don't see outsiders very often. He invites you to his mansion, and I guess that is where we are right now, heading down south to the top of the southern hill, overlooking the town.
So,
and yeah.
So 2 questions. One, does the lady that was weeping in her house, does she stay at the inn? Is she following us?
She actually, Ismark asked her to go back to her house. He sort of explained that she is distraught because her daughter, Gertruda, was kidnapped by Strahd. And that has sort of broken her mind, and he is now taking care of her somewhat as best to his ability. And sort of the best place to have her is in her home where she's not going to get lost.
Second thing, does Yappy Dog stay with her?
Oh, he does.
Good. That's one less thing I have to worry about.
The dog that you guys almost killed.
I'm gonna kill that damn dog. I mean, it's gonna be tragic when that dog dies.
Before I continue on, is there anything else you guys want to ask me about?
No, where are we currently? They were still walking down the road?
Yes, you're currently walking down the road, heading towards Kolyanovich Manor.
Does the appearance of the town change as we head towards the manor, or is the manor any different, or is it all the same?
It's all pretty much the same. The manor itself is bigger, and the buildings down south this way are a bit larger. They look like, this would be rich, but like rich as in they have, $10 instead of $2.
They're eating less wilty carrots.
Exactly. They have the best potato. So you get to this mansion. A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls, and great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window, and all of the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen. So basically, much like all of the other buildings, this building has been damaged. However, this one seems to have taken much more of the brunt of the damage. This one seems to have been directly targeted, and everything else almost looks as if it was just a secondary thought.
So, Ismark, I've got a question for you.
Yes. What can I do for you?
What is with the claw marks on the doors? Do you have, like, a rampant pest problem? I mean, do you need a dog catcher?
I don't think a dog catcher is going to work against this. So you remember at the inn, he was sort of like, there are things I should tell you, but it's probably best not to tell you this in public.
Right.
So he's kind of doing the same thing, like, I don't think a dog catcher is really going to work. I'll tell you more when we get inside, where it's safe. And again, Ismark, you guys have done insight checks. And none of you think that he is anything but a good guy, a stand-up guy. Can you guys see this map? At least the sort of bottom of it?
It is blurry.
Yeah, unfortunately, this map is not very good.
Perfect.
It might load. It might not be done loading yet. Just tell me if everything sort of magically reveals itself, because Roll20 is still having some issues with its dynamic lighting. Corvus and Pavuu, you guys notice that these trampled weeds all about the mansion, not only do they have scores of wolf prints and human footprints, it looks like there's evidence that it might be undead. You're noticing, like, the weird dragging of these footprints is reminiscent of zombies and ghasts and ghouls. And there's probably, like, a foot lying in the ground somewhere.
Is it possible to tell if, to get a feeling for whether or not the attacks breached the house, or whether they were repelled?
It does look repelled. It looks like, the glass has been completely broken, but you don't see... You can't really tell, actually. The doors and the boards and the windows are all very intact.
Okay. Do they appear newer than any of the surrounding structures?
They do.
Okay. I'm going to mention this to the rest of the party kind of as an aside, trying to keep Ishmael from hearing us.
So Ismark's gonna knock on the door. He steps up the stairs, sort of knock, 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 and calls out, "Ireena, it's I. I've returned. I found some visitors." And he
Isn't
waits
this
for
your
them.
home?
Well, as you say that, you hear the sounds of multiple deadbolts inside turning, as if someone is opening a series of locks in this door. It's not. There we go. Inside is a woman with striking auburn hair. Her skin is much paler than Ismark, and Ismark is already a very pale man. This woman has skin that is one shade darker than Pavuu. She opens up the door just a crack to make sure it is Ismark, and then opens it wide, inviting you in. You can see that the interior of this mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. And you see that every room that you can see in has the presence of holy symbols. Ireena lets you guys in. And Ismark sort of turns and gestures, "Please, I bid you all enter my home."
I would like to turn and survey the area before we go in to see if I notice anybody watching or.
Yeah. Perception-wise, you look around, you don't see anything strange.
All right. I'm gonna try and be very attentive to our surroundings as we go in and hang back from the rest of the group to be in a good position if something strange happens.
Okay. I'm gonna move everyone's tokens just sort of as a blob, but you're definitely walking behind. The first door you pass actually does have something strange, and Ismark sort of doesn't show you it, but he does sort of nod to that door. Inside you see a man lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay. He says, "That is my father. He's died a week ago."
Sorry for
Why
the
have you
loss,
not
lad.
buried him?
Sorry, what did you guys say?
Sorry, you first.
No, I was saying I'm sorry for your loss, lad.
It's been long coming.
Why have you not buried him yet?
No one in town has been able to get us, help us bring his coffin to the church.
Oh, well, I don't mind helping with that.
I would greatly appreciate your help. In fact, Ireena here would not leave without that happening. But I get ahead of myself. Please, join us in our seating room.
And Ireena is your sister?
Yes. And so you're looking at them, and they don't look anything alike. Though you did notice that the letter said adopted daughter.
Gotcha.
So they lead you guys into a drawing room around the side here with a number of comfortable seats. Ireena sort of moves into a kitchen and says, like, "I wasn't expecting this many guests. I can make some more stew right away."
Oh no.
She's a bit worried, like she's trying to not be scared of you guys.
I will... You said she's attractive?
He is the Lord.
Is she, in fact?
She is very attractive.
Then I'm being very warm and cordial with her. And doing everything I can to disarm her.
Make me a charisma check if you could. Maybe a persuasion if you've got it.
Persuasion.
Or deception if you're trying to...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can tell that at the beginning, Ireena is definitely trying to resist herself, though you are able to tailor exactly what you say to make her as comfortable as possible. And she is at ease with you guys almost instantly, laughing at your jokes and touching you on the arm. Though she seems very resistant if you are trying to do anything romantic with her.
Fair enough.
One step at a time.
Yep.
I'm going to write down 27 persuasion on Ireena.
That's
Noted.
yeah. Gosh. Wow.
So Ismark sits on the ground. Oh, did Katie disappear?
Mm-hmm.
She just muted her camera, looks like.
Yeah. Should I wait a couple minutes?
Mm, No.
I think I'd
No,
continue.
she said she would be right back. Go on.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
No, she texted me.
Oh, okay. So Ismark speaks to you guys and says, as I was saying in the inn, I believe we can help each other. You see, my sister, Ireena, was recently bitten, twice, in fact, by the vampire Count Strahd von Zarovich. His
Was she
domain. Sorry,
Was she
Say
once
that again?
shy?
she was shy.
Was she once shy? Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
It is hard, so.
Um,
I'm a
I'm
terrible
okay.
person.
You're a bad, bad man.
As he says this, he sort of steps over to one of the windows that's boarded up, and gestures out through a crack, and sort of points off into the distance. Do any of you want to sort of go and inspect what he's
Absolutely.
looking for?
Yes.
So north of the town, high above the church, I'll move you guys to the appropriate map. Just north of this church up here, there is a massive spire of rock that goes straight up. And not really straight up, but a massive, like a good, steep angle, possibly about 1,000 feet, to a castle. You didn't notice the castle due to the fog, but just by luck's chance, the fog is broken just enough for you to see what he says is Castle Ravenloft.
Where is this? Where this is the north?
It is just north of the church. It is not on that map. I can actually reveal it here. Give me
Ravens with laser beam eyes. Like it.
Yeah, they do.
laser ravens.
Freaking
So
laser beams.
this map is kind of strange in that it says that it's directly north of the church, but it's actually a few miles away. I don't really know how to rectify that, but
Yeah,
basically,
sure.
there is a large spire that goes up, and you can see the castle looming in the distance, with ravens hanging out
That is
viciously
pretty
with laser pointers for eyes. And just, you can only see it for about 20 seconds before the fog collapses back in and blocks your sort of full line of sight. Ismark says, I've been hoping for some way to take Ireena. There's another town, far from here, far from the watchful eye of Castle Ravenloft. But unfortunately, I cannot leave this town, for I am needed here. I am the burgomaster.
So I'm a bit confused. What's the significance of Castle Ravenloft?
That is where Count Strahd von Zarovich lives.
I've heard that name.
Strahd is a vampire. He is the devil incarnate and a scourge upon our land. I have trained my whole life in hopes that I will someday kill him.
Do you know how to kill him?
Many have tried. In fact, it seems that visitors like yourselves have a tendency to, well, attempt that themselves.
How did he come to be lord of this land?
That is a very long story, and one that I don't know too well. Suffice from what my father has told me, be it 400 years ago or something like that, Strahd came to this valley, and I don't know exactly how, I don't know exactly why, but through some sort of dark magics, he has become a vampire lord.
What?
And why have none of the other groups of adventurers succeeded?
He's strong. He's very strong.
What has become of the other adventurers?
Many die. A few become accustomed to living here and have taken up residence elsewhere.
Who dies?
Yeah, many who.
Many of the adventurers. That's it.
Oh, okay.
And those who live.
We didn't hear Zeros ask that question because he has no mouth.
Oh,
He used the time bullets.
I forgot about that.
Exactly. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go, Eric. We got it.
We need to get you like a bandana or something to put over your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
he's a bit confused at your guys' confused reactions, but he continues talking, though he's watching you guys a bit more closely. He says that from what he knows, the last group of adventurers that were that arrived here was about 30 years ago. His father has told him stories of them before Ismark was born. Before I was born. I should be doing my voice, should I not?
You should.
But many of these adventurers have died, and I do not know if they exist. If they still live. You being visitors yourselves, I know not what your intentions are, but you should note that the fogs surrounding this valley are ever pervasive. They are such that no man, living or dead, can pass through them. Well, I guess dead can pass through them. They die again, though. There's weird undead things I don't understand.
So you have no contact with the outside world, then?
That is correct.
How do we leave here?
Legend says the only way is for you to kill Strahd.
Hence the attempts.
Exactly.
So he allows people in, but not out.
The only people who have been able to leave are the Vistani.
Ah, that makes sense.
There is...
Remind me, the Vistani were the...
The three women in
Three
the
women.
Gypsies.
inn, as well as the gentleman that sent us here originally.
Why are they allowed to leave?
to be honest, I do not know. There is many conflicting reports. Some say that the Vistani are the servants of Strahd, and so Strahd is given the gift of leaving, though I do not put much stake in that one. On the way to Vallaki, which I will tell you about in a moment, there is a camp of Vistani. It is probable you will get many answers there that I cannot give you, as they are the only ones who can travel beyond this realm. But that brings me to my original points. Ireena must be safe. There is a town. It is called Vallaki, and it is 4 hours march from here. But it is not one that I would like Ireena to go alone.
Certainly.
As adventurers yourselves, or as visitors yourselves, you must not find this town particularly welcoming. We have been attacked recklessly, mercilessly. The attacks only stopped when my father died. but there's not much for you here. Vlaki is where you must go.
So is this...
Must.
Sorry?
Must.
Should.
Yes.
Perhaps you might find a home in the village of Barovia here, but it is not an interesting place.
So, the abandonment of the town, is that due to the attacks on the town? Are people dying? Or are they disappearing? What's the story there?
You see, about 2 years ago, about half of the town was not charmed. Charmed is not the right word, but was empowered, was encouraged by this man to... Sorry, I'm really bad at talking right now. He especially tells you that 2 years ago, there was a man, a wizard, who had come to this town and had encouraged the townsfolk and built a army. About half of the town has joined this army and sieged Castle Ravenloft. From his knowledge, every one of them has died.
Interesting.
I must admit, if my father had not stopped me, I would have gone as well.
It's wise that he stopped you then.
After the fact, it is... hindsight is 2020. I don't know if we have glasses in this world, but...
You've heard the phrase somewhere. Maybe one of the visitors.
Was there a specific cadence to the attacks that began on your father? I mean, has that been ongoing throughout your life, or did that start recently?
That was recent, and that brings us back to my sister, Ireena.
You think she was the target?
She was. And Ireena's standing there. You could hear her cooking stew, like chopping vegetables, making stuff in the kitchen in the back. And sort of as you speak of this, she stops, and you hear just sort of silence from the kitchen. Ismark continues and says, "It was 3 weeks, if I remember correctly."
Wow.
And then we'll break in
Through the door.
The attacks have resumed.
It was about 3 weeks past.
Okay, Kate.
Ireena told me that Strahd appeared at her window, and through his unholy magics, charmed her and brought her out of this house. She does not have much memories, though she would be able to tell you more than I.
You, girl, speak for yourself.
She comes out, and she sort of has a defiant look in her eyes at being called girl, but she does say, "My brother has it true. He came to my window, charmed me with this unfoul magic. Not unfoul.
Foul.
Unholy magic. With this foul, unholy magic. And when my father tried to protect me by keeping me locked in this house, he sent his evil forces against me, against this house. It was only when my father died that these forces stopped. At the very least, I am proud to say that my father did not die a coward's death."
If you don't mind me asking, lass, what you spoke with this Strahd?
After my nights with him, I do not remember much.
Do you remember anything he said to you?
He said that I was his love, that I belonged to him, that my very soul was his. It is not comfortable to remember.
I apologize. Don't mean to cause you discomfort.
It's quite alright. You rolled a 27. I would tell you anything. Ireena, you can tell, is a much better speaker than Ismark. Ismark is giving you the sort of like guard that has been turned into the town mayor, whereas Ireena is a noblewoman. Though she is a very strong, noblewoman of a terrible house, if that makes sense.
Why is it we should go out of our way for you, girl? I'm gonna poke the bear a little bit.
She says, there's no reason to. In fact, if you do not, I have told Ismark that I am strong enough to leave on my own. And Ismark's kind of like, Ireena, those bites have drained much more than you think. You would not get to Vlaki without being scooped up by the devil himself.
What was the name of the aside to Mick? What was the name of the girl that was abducted?
Mad Mary's daughter?
Yeah.
That was Gertruda.
Gertruda.
If it's not too painful for me to ask it, what do you know this Gertruda?
Yes, I know of her. She disappeared shortly before Strahd came to my windows.
Do you know
Continue, sorry.
Do you know anything about whether or not he spoke to her as well?
I don't. Her mother was a very protective woman. Gertruda was not allowed out of her house that often. In fact, I would hesitate to say she was allowed out at all, though she did escape from time to time. It is my understanding that she had always had grand visions of heroes and adventures. She might have gone to Castle Ravenloft on her own volition. I have no evidence that Strahd has talked to her.
Are these sorts of disappearances common around here? I mean, is this a story that has repeated itself?
No. Typically, people have gone missing before, but they're usually found again, and they are fed upon. Delvin, if you would like to make a religion check, that would be perfect. I would give you advantage on that because they're kind of explaining what these effects are already. A vampire bite doesn't instantly turn you into a vampire itself. It's only if your entire vitality is drained that you become a vampire. From what you know, typically a good night's rest will sort of bring back your vitality. It's like giving blood. You drink some orange juice and have a nap, you'll be fine. But looking at Ireena, you think that her affliction is more permanent. This sort of vitality that's been drawn from her face, is sort of not coming back. Because she did say she was bitten 3 weeks ago.
Right.
But you're not detecting, she's not a vampire. You can see that her blood is pumping.
Right.
She's alive.
As they talk, I'm going to try and surreptitiously leave the room as I'm close to the door.
Yeah. Do you wanna make me a stealth check?
Yeah, I'm really good at those.
You being the size that you are, I can imagine.
I mean, you didn't have.
I can see Pavoo's like, look, blimp.
If you move very slowly,
So, looking at your guys' passive perceptions, Elphaba, you don't notice Pavuu leave, but everyone else in the room does.
Naturally.
I will
anyway.
actually. I'll use that opportunity to try to engage in conversation. So I'll be asking more questions. So I'll try to assist him in his stealth in some way, though.
Yeah, I'd say make me some kind of charisma check to make a distraction.
Okay.
Mick, you want to tell me when and
Performance,
when I should move?
perhaps.
A performance would be good, yeah. 15, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you sort of cough, as he clank away. So like, I don't know what's going on. So Pavuu, what are you looking for exactly?
I'm just going to go look for anything that seems out of place or anything of value in this place.
So, every single room has at least 2 holy symbols that have been nailed to the wall. They all share the same sort of symbology, which is a sunburst.
I have no interest in these idols of false gods. Might is all.
You see a few things that are like there might be the occasional candlestick or candelabra thing that looks like it would be worth some money, though most things look tarnished or utilitarian.
Then I'm going to look for some bedrooms and rifle some drawers.
Yeah. Upstairs, I don't have a map of the upstairs, but you do find what appears to be a master bedroom, as well as 2 bedrooms that are smaller, and those look more lived in, whereas the master bedroom looks like it hasn't been touched in so many weeks.
I'm going to start with the master bedroom and then see where we go from there.
Yeah, like investigation.
Yeah.
So the rest of you by now definitely hear the sound of footsteps upstairs. As the bedroom is immediately above.
You know what? I'm gonna, if I can, gonna cast Minor Illusion to make Pavuu appear to be standing cross-armed, like leaning up against the wall of the door that he left on.
Okay, I would say that works.
I like it.
As an aside, for perception, insight, and investigation, I'm doing those secretly behind
Right. I forgot. Hopefully you rolled better than me.
I did. I rolled a 20. So you, being the master investigation expert of this apparent whole group, you're looking around and you are looking for anything that seems out of place, anything that would say like this is a lie or anything that doesn't match up, and you find nothing. You find that the room that you can tell is Ireena's room has the most boards sort of boarding up these windows, and everything else seems perfectly fine. You do find maybe like a sack of probably, let's roll, 36 gold. It seems to be their entire savings.
Yep, that's gone.
So at this point, even with the illusions and stuff, it seems like Ismark and Ireena have noticed something is slightly wrong. Though they seem trustworthy or trusting. They are allowing you guys to do what you want in their house.
Foolish. After finding the money, I will come downstairs and look around innocuously in other rooms.
All right. Other than the room with the coffin, there's not much else to find. But the room with the coffin, you do notice as you enter it, there is there's wilting flowers all around the coffin, and there is one bouquet of black roses that has been thrown in the corner, and it looks like it's been stomped on repeatedly. And as you use your 20 investigation and laser sights on, you see just a tiny note card written in common saying, my condolences, -S.
Mm-hmm. Someone's got a sense of humor.
So, while Pavuu is doing that, do the rest of you have any questions for Ismark and Ireena?
Yeah, so this town that you want to take Ireena to, what do you hope to find there? Who is there to help you?
Well, I'm hoping that as the Burgomaster's daughter, the Burgomaster himself will allow me passage. It is said that Vallaki has strong walls to defend themselves against Strahd's forces, the wolves and undead. In addition, I've heard that they have an abbey a church of Saint Andrew, I think the name was. It seems to be magically consecrated. At least that is what the travelers have told me.
I'll turn to Delvin. Delvin, do you have any thoughts on the matter about ways that she could be aided in some way?
Can I do a religion check on that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Oh, hello.
All right.
So yeah, your religion check, like adding on to your previous one, you're sort of you
I'm zoning in here.
you think that her affliction, by all means, should be cured. Whatever this is something that is beyond just a vampire's bite.
It's like something magical that's been laid upon her.
Yes. In fact, you pick up on something that Ismark said a little while ago. This is a vampire lord, which is much stronger than a
Much
vampire.
more strong, yeah.
You think, to give sort of a Dracula analogy, that Strahd is the head vampire.
Right.
And thus, you, even with a 25, you do not know exactly what his powers might be.
Right.
Though, especially as a wizard, Strahd being a wizard would change things up a bit.
Right. Right.
That said, by hearing that this church is consecrated, you know that many churches aren't. They don't have like an actual hallow quality to them.
Right.
But if this one does, it actually would be a pretty safe place for Ireena.
For her to stay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without knowing exactly how strong Strahd is, you...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'll kind of suggest that would be, yeah, indeed be a good place for her to hide out.
This town, does it have proper provisioning? Could we re-equip ourselves?
Yes, Ismark is like, yes, you see, we used to have a town guard, but that guard has, well, it is now me. And I cannot equip all of that weaponry. There is a guard post at the center of town. I'll give you the key, and you can go and take anything you'd like from it. We are not rich people, but I will give you anything that I can. In fact, my savings is upstairs in a bedroom.
Was upstairs in a bedroom.
That must be my cue.
I can offer that as well.
Having seen that Pavuu had left the room, there's no need for payment, lad. We'll consider it an honor. We'll make sure that your sister is properly escorted.
It's not usual that the paladin goes and loots.
I kind of expected that was my province. But,
Well, you were talking.
yeah,
What needs doing?
I'm the distraction.
I'll have to see if there's any books on the history of Barovia or something like that that they have.
On his, they actually, yeah, they would. They do have a few notes. They contain very little information that they can't sort of tell you already.
Okay.
Is that about 400 years ago it was that Strahd sort of came to this land, and since then people cannot leave.
Got it. Okay.
So I'd like to look at both of them and just ask them if they've have any other family members or husbands, wives, or what have you, children.
No, we do not. So you're looking at them. Ismark looks like he's probably like 22. Ireena is 20.
So 22, 1 foot in the grave, right?
Yeah, exactly. They say no. We have no family. Ireena was actually the adopted daughter. We lost our mother quite a long time ago. Ireena was found in the forests. It's about 3 years old.
Do we know about any family of Strahd or wife of his?
Strahd, is said to have many brides, though we hesitate to learn too much about him. It is said that if you say his name, he will appear.
What was the name? What was the
Didn't you just say his name then?
We don't hold too much to the old superstition, but it's best not to poke too many bears.
What was the name of the surname of the household we visited? Is the Durst? Was that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I will. So Ismark, question for you. What do you know of the Durst family?
Durst family. Ireena, do you know of the Durst family? They're both thinking, like, no, we've never heard.
Really? Their manor house is just a wee bit outside of Barovia.
There's no. Just along the Svalich Road up to the road towards the gates.
Aye, indeed.
There's no houses up that direction.
Okay, Twilight Zone music plays. Interesting.
Well, the house just up and vanished right after we got out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of burnt
But
down.
the outhouse was still there, right?
The outer house, the
The outbuilding.
Servants' quarters. So
yes, the servant's house, yeah. But yeah, they are confused as you guys are. Your insights don't think that they're lying.
Interesting.
They do say, I must admit, we do not travel that far east. If you go past those gates, the fog tends to close in on you, and it has been said that you will choke to death within moments. We don't go that way.
So you know not of the rest of the realms, then?
No, we know they exist for people like you have been brought here, but we hope to see them someday.
What is the fog?
They're kind of looking at each other. They're like, it's the fog. It's always been here. Do you not have giant walls of fog where you come from?
In most lands, the fog doesn't kill you when you walk in it.
We have plenty of fog in the Moonshae Isles, but not of the sort that we have here.
Yeah, they're kind of like, do you remember that episode of Futurama where they go underwater and they're like, sometimes water falls from the sky. Huh. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, they're kind of like, there's places that like aren't covered in fog. That's unheard of. But yeah, they tell you like, no, we do not leave Barovia. We have been trapped here, and by all reckoning, you have been trapped here too. The only suggestions I can give you, says Ismark, is to go to Vallaki and learn what you can there. They have libraries and walls to protect them.
then we'll certainly go.
And I
So,
would also suggest going to the Sarah Pool, Vistani camp. There, they may have more answers as well.
so a couple of questions for you. One, is there a writ that perhaps you could provide that would allow us to perhaps get to speak with the appropriate individuals on your behalf with this Vallaki?
I can, for certain, but Ireena herself is
Ah, of
known
course.
there.
Of course, yes, that makes sense. Second question, what can we expect in terms of potential attacks along the way? Like we've talked about the scratches at the doors in Barovia. Perhaps you could provide a little bit more detail about what you've had to endure here.
Yes, if you travel during the day, I cannot say it is safe, but it should be no challenge for you. Wolves are the biggest danger in these woods. Though, I don't know of the lands outside here, but the lands here do have horrors that appear. He's trying to figure out how to say this, and he's like, there are things that cannot be fought with swords alone.
Are there other vampires besides Strahd?
Yes. They sleep during the day in Castle Ravenloft, and that is why it is said you should never travel outside at night.
And you said that Vallaki is how far away?
It is about 4 hours. I would suggest you stay here for the night and leave in the morning.
That sounds
What time is it?
reasonable.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's probably by now like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just from the few days that you've been in Barovia, you think that sun up is about 6 a.m. and sun down is about 6 p.m. So there's a 12-hour shift either way. Ireena does say, before we leave, I want to see my father in the graveyard. And if you will help me, that is what I would most like to do before we leave.
Of course, lass, of course.
Yeah.
It is our god here. Our protector is the Morning Lord, and our customs are that anyone interred should be buried at dawn. So if you don't mind, we should take him just before sunup tomorrow.
Of course.
Yeah.
So they thank you. Like Ireena's stepping up to Rhivan in particular, and is like, thank you very much for helping me. I
You're
know
quite
that
welcome.
you are in a difficult position. This is not something that you have to do, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
It's our honor.
Ismark goes and digs up a big brass key and hands it to probably to Pavuu, because you're the biggest, and he thinks you're trustworthy. He goes upstairs and he's like, I'm sorry, I cannot find the gold that I was offering you, but here, take this key and go to the guard post in the town square. There you'll find some equipment I can give you. In
Excellent.
addition, please feel free to look through the closets here. Our family used to be larger, and we have no use of the clothes there. Your sacks are very exotic, I would say.
I could
What's that?
definitely use with a new set of boots, among other things, if you had some to spare.
Yeah, he shows you sort of to the closet area, and there's boots. There's everything is used and worn, but it looks well made.
It's better than what I have, so
Exactly.
everything else I've got is very fine except for the boots. So I will trade those out.
Are there any scarves or any kind of face covering?
Yeah, there would be scarves.
Okay.
So you can definitely get scarves and bandanas and get an assortment of things to cover your face when needed.
Okay.
Zeros, we need to talk at some point in time.
Yes, I'm speaking directly to him.
What?
Obviously.
Just because the fellow's missing a face. It's hardly even the weirdest thing that's happened today.
Ismark and Ireena sort of say like they're gonna stay in this house for the rest of the day.
I assume that
anything else-
Zeros has been doing
I would,
this like the whole time.
I would like to ask if I could perhaps perform a funeral rite upon their father, so that it will possibly protect him for the days to come.
Yes, that would be much appreciated. I wish we could offer you payment for your services.
No, I need none.
I'm gonna say I'm going to the armory. Hold up the key and start walking towards the front door.
Yeah, does anyone else want to go to the armory?
I'm going.
No, I'll continue to stay around and apply charm to the family.
I will go with Pavuu as well.
Okay. So one thing about the ceremony is that you need 25 gold of powdered silver to do the actual magical part of it.
I will ask them. Powdered. How to make powdered silver.
Yeah, they have possibly like a silver holy symbol, but it looks like it'd probably make only about a gold worth of powdered silver.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that something we could possibly purchase in the town?
Yes, there is a mercantile. He says Bildrath is a good man, but due to the lack of people in this town, his prices have gone up. It would be wise not to anger him, for he has sort of taken a... He believes that if you need it, you will pay for it. He is a difficult one to convince.
I bet Pavuu could do some appropriate convincing.
I've already left, but I would be very interested in this gentleman when I get back.
So I guess let me ask again, who is staying? Rhivan, you're staying?
Yeah, I'm staying.
I'll
Okay.
still stay.
All right. And everyone else follows Pavuu?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So the four of you head up north past Mad Mary's house to the town square. You were given the brass key and sort of shown that one of these is the guard station. You easily can recognize it. But what you see in the town square as well is this building right here that I'm gonna ping. In front of it, there is a old woman. You hear the sound of a cart moving as she turns a corner, pushing a little like kiosk of what appear to be little hand tart pies. They are possibly the best smelling thing you have smelt since coming here. This woman is probably 80 years old. She's a hunched figure, bundled in rags, pushing her rickety wooden cart. And she's knocking on doors, sort of calling out like, pies for sale, pies. And totters, she's not really paying you guys attention, but these pies, I cannot stress enough, smell fantastic.
I'm gonna walk up to the cart. Appreciate the food. Okay. You live off of basic stuff for a long time.
Sidebar. I've mentioned this before. The art direction in this book is very strange. You're gonna look at this picture and you're gonna be like, "This is a terrifying woman."
Is she purple too?
She's not purple. She looks like this.
Okay.
Pies!
You don't eat the pie.
Are there
My pies are wonderful.
She looks trustworthy.
They're human
But the-
pies.
Corvus,
They're not at all bloody.
I want one in every flavor.
your insight check does not make you think she's anything but a very unfortunately looking.
It's okay, we share that in common. So.
Even the pie makers look sinister in Barovia.
So she's pushing this cart, and as you approach her, she's like, "Oh, hello. Aren't you a strapping young lad or lass? Would you like a pie?"
Yeah. What flavors do you have?
I have many. What were you looking for? I have chicken, pork. I have
Human,
Yeah.
savory or sweets.
long pork.
The other white meat.
I have apple, pumpkin, I make a variety here.
You have strawberry rhubarb.
I do.
What is a rhubarb?
I have made many
Rhubarb.
You are a visitor here, I believe. And she says visitor with this like capital V as well. It's like, you must have a very hard time adapting to this place. I'm so sorry, my dear. Let me give you this pie for free.
Are you sure? I don't mind.
Just try it and enjoy it. It would make me very happy to make sure that a person like you is warmly fed.
Well, thank you. And I give her a small bow.
And she kind of waves over, like she's peering, squinting at the three of you, and she's like, come, each of you, take one of my pies, please.
I go over and I grab an apple pie.
Okay, and what do you plan on doing it?
Give it to Corvus.
He wants the apple one. A little pie.
I give it to Corvus, okay? It's free food.
Yeah, how
I'm
did
gonna give it to
I'm
someone.
so curious. Like, how does Zeros eat anymore?
He doesn't have to.
I
He doesn't
don't.
have
Oh,
to.
do you not have to?
He didn't have to eat or drink.
Does it
That's part
still
of
smell good to me or no?
It smells fantastic. This,
Oh,
yeah.
you God.
You would
damn
be
it.
sure.
You just like stick it in your ear, you know. It'll-
you
It's-
I don't know what is supposed to go on there. Like, do you still have a mouth cavity?
yeah, I'm so
I
curious.
don't know. I mean,
I'm so
I don't
curious
think
about.
you do. I would say that whole thing is just sort of, you have no tongue, so you can't feel
Yeah.
anything in there anymore. But whatever it is, you feel is salivating.
It's so strange.
Mm,
Corvus, do you want to take a bite of this? They're very small, like they're individual, like single serving pies.
Like mincemeat pies or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, do you eat yours?
Yeah,
She's like,
take a bite of the rhubarb one.
It is
Rhubarb.
fantastic. It smells. So first off, you do not detect any meat or human or anything else. You're not like, oh, this, is made of bones. It is fantastic. And not only is it fantastic, it is the best thing you have ever tasted. Your eyes light up as you look around, and in fact, everything feels slightly brighter now. The despair of Barovia seems less affecting on you.
Are there any houses for sale around here?
Pavuu, Rhivan and delvin are still there. But Pavuu, Elphaba, do you guys eat your pies?
I'm stuffing my face and giving them thumbs up.
I will take a pie, old woman. How much are they?
I sell them for 1 gold apiece. As your friend can tell, they are quite good.
That's an expensive pie.
You're
Very
gonna feel
well. I'll counter out 4 gold pieces.
No. You strapping young man like you, I think you're a man. You could be a mountain. But you deserve pies.
Very well. I will take a pie.
Thank you very much. Would meat or savory? Savory or sweet?
Meat.
Meat. Young strapping lad like you probably want lamb or boar.
Boar pie. Sounds awesome.
Lamb. I will take the lamb.
She gives you this lamb, and much like Corvus, when you bite into it, it's fills you with this happiness. You feel almost euphoric, like you've never felt before.
Boar hot pockets.
Can I do like a sleight of hand to like just surreptitiously put like 2 gold coins on her cart so that she doesn't sit?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have money?
Did we all start out with money?
No.
Mm-mm.
Steal from Pavuu.
Okay, I'm gonna steal from him first.
Yeah, Pavuu and Rhivan are the ones with the money right now.
You did say Pavuu had taken out the gold coins to give her already, so Corvus, you see where it is. So yeah, a sleight of hand would be perfect, I think. Oh man.
Oh, God.
Holy crap!
You just
Monk
sort of
with the sleight of hand.
like Pavuu doesn't even notice that you've touched him and like basically
Real gains.
Wait a minute. What do we got? Oh, just a +3. You just rolled really friggin' well.
Naturally 20, yeah.
That green 23 means it's a natural 20.
Dang.
Yeah, with green.
All right, how
Um,
much
is there
money has
on-
the charlatan taken?
I just took 2.
Okay.
She's not Charlotte.
I could put him on.
Elphaba, do you want one of these pies?
I will, because my mother raised me to not be rude, and I ask her what she recommends.
I have a delicious banana. It is possibly my favorite. I spice it with a little secret ingredient of mine.
Oh boy.
It is human hearts.
Ingredient.
Uh-oh.
She leans in and she's like, "It's oregano."
Uh-huh.
And despair.
Oh boy. Okay. Thank you.
And if you would like one of my savory ones, I have amazing. This one is made of baby back ribs. Fantastic.
I appreciate the pause there.
Comma.
Back ribs.
I'll stick with the banana.
Yeah. Do you eat it right away, or you seem like you want to pocket it, perhaps?
I'm going to pocket it.
It is very flaky and crumbly. You probably don't have a pouch that's delicate enough to handle this.
Why are you making me eat this?
No. But you look in her eyes and you think that she might be very sad if you didn't.
Oh.
As
Okay.
Elphaba waffles, I'm gonna cast Divine Sense.
Yeah. So Morgantha. So she's like, "Oh, I'm just Morgantha. Give me one sec. She is a fiend."
Oh, see?
So you look at your friends, and they're all fine and dandy. They are human. Zeros is actually detecting as undead, but that's not entirely unusual. But she seems to be a fiend, and in fact, you sort of recognize this, and you think she is a hag.
She looks
That's just rude.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Can't help it.
What type of map are what type? Give me a layout. How are we arranged in the street?
Give me one sec.
This is after I've eaten the goddamn pie.
So
I really
can-
genuinely want to know what you guys have eaten.
Yeah, well,
Nothing good.
Zeros is okay.
Its name is Frank.
and Zeros.
We gotta be way closer than that.
Yes, you guys would be like right next to her. This is each square is 5 feet, and since this isn't a combat map, you guys aren't taking up that full sort of space. So you guys can definitely be like, crowding around her cart a little bit. But she sees you sort of looking at her, and she's like, "Oh, my dear, is there anything wrong?"
I'm not eating
Yeah,
this
I'm-
pie.
I'm going
Dude,
to
spit take.
lean in and in abyssal, I'm gonna say, "Get ye gone, hag."
In
Yeah,
Abyssal,
speak abyssal.
she's going to respond and say like, "Oh, you know the mother tongue. Oh, well, I will go. If you need any more pies, just remember, Morgantha makes the best. And she moves off, possibly a little faster. Your Corvus, you can tell that she looks nervous now.
I tell Pavuu Kazoon tight.
She's a hag.
And she's going to quickly totter around the corner.
She's a hag with some of your gold.
What?
No, I didn't say that.
And who fed you God knows what?
I feel great.
So did you say that it took away despair? Is that what you said?
Well, none of them have despair effects, so you...
One of them does.
Pavuu does.
But in the morning,
Oh,
it's
Pavuu.
a whole different matter.
sorry, I didn't realize Pavuu had despair. I didn't write it down
Yeah.
on my notes.
Pavuu is despaired. He is
Pavuu and I both have despair.
Pavuu, your despair disappears.
Aha! Damn hag.
So yes, it in fact does cure despair.
The banana pie that I took from Elphaba.
I mean, for the record, banana pie is my favorite. Why'd you have to taint it?
Nothing here is what it seems. Let's look at the armory.
Yeah, you get to the armory, open it up, and see that it is caked with dust, and probably not as fancy as you would hope. Everything seems to have a very similar motif, a raven motif on it, though it's not so much like grand shields and everything as much as just little raven feathers etched into everything. They contain a suit of spiked ringmail, 2 suits of padded armor, a damaged chain shirt, 2 wooden shields, 4 hand axes, a short sword, a mace, a man catcher, and a man catcher is a intimidating pole arm with 2 pronged heads at the end that, when you attack, can grapple things.
It's like a catch pole.
Yeah. It's like a dog catcher net, except
For mans.
for mans.
Ooh.
Let me find the Wikipedia JPEG and post it to the chat. Control V. Oh, and it did not work.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, if you click the X, it'll open a new tab.
What is the spiked ringmail?
So the spiked ringmail is a special ringmail that has an array of sharp barbs. When you grapple or are grappled, you deal 1d4 plus your strength mod damage to them. There's also a longbow, a composite shortbow. Composite shortbows are not typical things that you guys have seen in Faerun before. They seem to be made specifically in Barovia. They are reinforced to allow you to use strength instead of dex for your damage rolls.
That might be good for Pavuu.
Pavuu has a heavy crossbow.
Yeah, but can you use strength for it?
No, but the range is better. And if we're... Anyway. Well,
there's-
I can
yeah.
only carry so much of this back with me. I think we should certainly take the ringmail and the chain shirt and the ranged weapons.
I think it might be a good idea for us to take a quick 5-minute break, discuss what to equip ourselves with, and I can run to the washroom because I have drank too many cans of Dr. Pepper.
Oh, good. I can make some coffee.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna grab some coffee.
All right.
So
We
yeah,
will
we'll
be right back.
call it 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right.
So you guys,
Pausing, Sean.
Pausing it.
want that mace?
Going live
All
again.
right. Live.
I'm going to take the mace.
All right.
I'll be negative to use it. So, well, not negative to use it, but it wouldn't do that.
Would help. Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
All right. Welcome back to All Vampire Channel. All vampires all the time. You guys have
in the other room. Bad form.
Ooh, wireless
Oh, yeah.
headset. Nice.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's how one does.
So you guys find, a decent amount of stuff in there. You can fill up all of your inventories with that. So I believe you guys have done that already. You guys know that just to the south of you, there is a place called Bildrath's Mercantile. If you would like to investigate that.
Yeah. What's
Inside
Is anyone
there.
interested in going to go get the other gentleman? Well, very well. I'll go get them.
What gentleman?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
They're both
talking
just like,
about?
wait, what? They're not here? Rhivan and Delvin are still at the house.
I will go.
Yeah, you would
collect
have
them.
you would have noticed by the absence of like non-stop chatter that Rhivan wasn't there.
The silence is a good call.
Yeah, you can absolutely gather them, bring them to the shop. If you guys don't mind taking a few minutes.
No, I'm going to suggest to Rhivan that he can try with the charms, and if not, I'll try the other way.
Fair enough.
Did anybody want any of the other weapons? Any of the armor?
Can anyone use the padded armor?
Padded armor's light armor. Can't you?
Yeah.
Do you have a chain shirt on?
Yeah, I got one, and Delvin has one.
Okay.
I've got
You got a chain shirt, Sean.
I've
Yeah.
got leather armor, I think.
Can't you wear chain?
No. I think I've got light armor. Yeah, I've just got light armor as a proficiency.
Okay.
Padded armor any better?
No.
It's the same. Actually, it gives you disadvantage on stealth.
Who's got arrows? Anybody using a bow at all? Delvin?
Nope, I'm using crossbow.
I think, did anyone take the short sword?
Nope.
I'll grab that because I think for whatever reason I'm proficient in them, so that makes sense.
Okay. I'm making a list of stuff we still have on hand.
The holy symbols, is that just a regular symbol in the compendium?
Yes. Yeah, just a regular symbol. So while you guys are figuring out, divvying up your stuff, do you want to enter in this Bildrath Mercantile?
Yes.
All right, so you push aside the curtains that double as the door to this place, and you notice that inside is dimly lit and is more akin to a pawn shop than a typical general store. Everything is behind these big, heavy wooden desks, and there's only a small window. Everything else is heavy chain fencing, blocking you from the inside of the store. At the back, not facing you guys, is a old man sort of tinkering at a desk. You can see that inside there is a large assortment of things. Probably everything on the adventuring gear table, but only things that are at a price lower than 25 gold. And looking at little price tags, it looks like everything he sells is about 10 times more expensive. He has a number of... I posted the adventuring gear handout. There at the very bottom of that is the table of prices and stuff. He also has a number of weapons and armors. For those, I'm just going to say that if you want to buy anything, I'll roll a percentile and see if he has it. It will also be about 10 times more expensive. from your guys' homes, you guys know that magic items are very rare, and it's very unlikely for a general shop to sell them. Though you do notice a few things sort of glimmer with unnatural light. You see a floating orb, a small sphere of thick glass that has a metal chain embedded into it that is actually floating off the ground, and it has a price tag that says 520 gold. There's a few other magical.
I'm gonna stand, leaned with my back to that item in particular.
Okay. Yeah, it just sort of floats about, hanging on this chain.
It's just a glass orb.
Yeah, it's kind of moving as if it's like a helium balloon almost.
Is it similar to the one that Pavuu took?
It's not dissimilar, though this one has sort of a golden sheen to it.
I'm gonna see.
Walk outside.
Sorry, what did you say, Corvus?
I said I see nothing I can afford, and so I walk outside.
So this man, Bildrath, you assume is Bildrath, still sort of just puttering about, not looking at you guys, and doesn't seem to have noticed you guys come in.
Oh, particularly if he hasn't noticed us coming in, I'm gonna try to cast Minor Illusion over top of the glowing orb.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to lose?
The exact same thing, and I'm going to try to sleight of hand it.
So it's on the other side of this fence, a good 10 feet away from you.
Oh, how close? I mean, can I get close to it?
It's 10 feet away from the.
So this is total pawn shop, right?
Oh.
All the merchandise is behind the fence.
I see.
Exactly.
I see.
Okay.
Rats.
If you had mage hand, you think maybe you could snag it, but
If I had what?
mage hand.
It's not one I have yet.
Cough, cough.
Zeros.
So you guys are just standing at this pawn shop, looking out about. Some of the other magic things you notice, there is a leather fur-trimmed bag that seems to collect frost on its opening, and it looks distinctly dwarven in design. And you see a little black corded bracelet, almost like a little friendship bracelet, but it has hundreds of tiny iridescent scales. The only other thing is a sickle, the handle of which is etched with vine and leaves, but the blade looks fairly dull, though it shimmers faintly in the light.
So I'm going to approach Bildrath.
Or at least approach the gate. Or
Yeah. Greetings. I hear that you are a purveyor of fine goods. I'm a traveling nobleman, and you were recommended to me, and I'm going to cast Bewitch on him.
Yeah. I think you cast it on yourself, don't you?
Do I? Maybe I do. Yeah, range self. So.
I assume you're not casting Fairy Fire.
No. Oh, why did it do Fairy Fire? Come on. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. You bewitch yourself, and you are. Everyone notices that you are just slightly more attractive than you were before.
Yep.
He sort of turns around. He's like, traveling nobleman, huh?
Indeed. I'd like to see your best of wares. We're about to equip ourselves for a grand adventure.
Yes, we do have some grand wares here. I've got this, and he picks up that leather bag, and he's like, this, I call it a bag of colding.
A bag of
Yes, it lets you put anything you want inside, and it will hold it as if it had some kind of magical thing and magical space inside. And he's actually wait, no, that's not his voice. What is Bildrath's voice? That'll be Bildrath. You can hold everything. It's her looks like she can barely hold a muskrat, but her insides are bigger than her outs. Not only that, anything you put in gets all frosty. You never had anything as better as that purple grape mash wine, chilled to perfection. I keep a bottle in her myself. And he pulls out this bottle of wine inside this bag of holding, and you look, and it does seem to be a bag of holding that makes things cold.
Can you demonstrate? Cause show me putting a weapon inside it.
Of course, I've got this, and he picks up that leafy sickle. He's like, and this is a curious weapon. Her blade might not be that sharp, but the magic seems to account for it, or at least balances it out. Got a quirk though. Seems to grow moss on her overnight. I have to clean her every day. Puts it inside and holds it up. It's like, look, you can barely tell it's there.
I'm gonna, while this conversation is going on, encourage Elphaba to accompany Corvus around the back and suggest they might be able to use the message spell to inform us if there's a back door to this building.
Sure.
I was getting there.
So Corvus, do you and Elphaba, do you two go about back?
Yeah, we're just wandering around, taking a sneak peek.
Gonna just see what's going on around here.
So you look around back of this place. It looks like there's only 2 rooms in this building. The back does have a back entrance, but you're sort of peering through the windows, and you see what is possibly the biggest human you've ever seen. Probably the biggest man you've ever seen next to Pavuu. His muscles ripple beneath his leather tunic, and he looks like the spitting image of Bildrath, except 40 years younger.
And he's just like hanging out behind the place, or
Yeah, he's carrying boxes, and he's inside, so he hasn't noticed you through the glass. But you can tell that he is big. He's very big.
He's large.
charisma.
Okay. Can I use the message cantrip to tell Pavuu this?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you click the message spell on your sheet?
Yep.
So you point your finger towards a creature within range. You could probably see Pavuu through the window. And whisper. Sorry. You cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it's behind the barrier. Perfect. What message would you like to say?
I just tell him what Corvus and I have found, and I describe this large man to him. Yeah.
SOS, big dude.
Seriously.
I'm going to ask whether they see a rear door to the building.
There is a rear door, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
there is.
Can
you
Can you
mentioned
block? Can you block it?
you can't respond.
Oh no.
Message doesn't respond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta have some means of
Yeah.
No, it says you can reply.
It says the target can reply, but only the
Yeah.
target.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have been ruling that wrong my entire life. I'm sorry.
Walkie-talkie magic.
Well, I think it changed in 5th edition. I think you're
yeah,
thinking of
originally
right.
it did
Or
not. Yeah, you're
It was a
right.
one-way.
Yeah.
It only lasts, well, I guess it lasts a round, so that'd be like, what, a minute?
But you can only respond like one thing.
Around is 6 seconds.
Oh, there you go. So it's like a and then you're
Yeah.
done.
But you're able to keep casting
Get it out fast.
It's a cantrip. Yeah.
So there's a few crates. Corvus and Elphaba, you could find a way to block this door, though you think it opens inwards.
Inwards. Okay.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to block it.
Right.
I suggest they block the door, and it will help us with negotiations.
I just
So-
said we can't block it.
You can't lock it, but you can block it.
Okay.
There's a minor one
You wouldn't be able to
consonant.
stop him from opening the door.
We got it, guys. Don't worry.
So I'm gonna walk over to Pavuu and ask very quietly, do you happen to have a weapon that might have a sheath to it?
I have several with a sheath.
Something you
got-
might be willing to part with.
Let's see. What shall we have? I only have the long sword here.
So Bildrath is
However-
looking at you guys, just like, so what y'all talking about?
Well, we're interested in the in the bag of colding, as you called it. We have something that might be of interest to you.
Yes, yeah.
So
What would that be? The bag of Colden. Putting her up for 1,000 gold.
well, we have something that might be of at least equal value, although we might have to do some haggling, lad.
I will turn my body away from the shopkeep and unlatch my sword and hold it in front of, between the two of us, but outside of his view.
Okay, I will cast Minor Illusion on that and make it appear to be a runed, glowing sword of very, very exquisite look.
Okay.
But I'll take it from him, and I'll take the sheath as well, and I will present it to him. And say,
I think Minor Illusion is a physical interaction reveals it to be an illusion.
let's see.
Oh, actually, it can't create sensory effects, but it can. You could probably cast it on a thing. It says like it's only a cube, and it only lasts for a minute. You might.
It's a
need to
cantrip.
do-
Could I renew it if I needed to?
It also has. It doesn't have verbal components. Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to do that multiple times.
I mean, my thought is that I'll sheath it after I've demonstrated it.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to probably like sheath it, pushing the sheath onto it, as opposed to pushing it into the sheath.
Yes.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. Make me a deception check, and I'll give you advantage on it.
Yeah, and I have that plus D4 for that as well. so-
Advantage plus 2d plus d4.
plus what was it?
D4.
Okay, so only 25.
Only 25. So, just to get this straight, you're sort of taking this longsword, the windmill longsword.
No. This is a regular longsword, but.
Oh, right, the one that you brought from home.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I'm talking it up. I'm giving it a false history. Any sort of nobleman that I might have heard tell of along the way, I am elaborating upon the provenance of this thing.
Okay, so he's seems to be completely on board. Like he's like, oh, I usually when visitors like you guys come in, you don't get to keep anything. That Strahd usually takes everything away from you. But you must have had some powerful magics to bring this thing in.
Well, we had a companion that fell along the way. That was the bearer of this, and we're very hesitant to part with it. But we've got a noble endeavor, so we must equip ourselves appropriately.
Well, I agree with that. I agree. I think I could take that sword off your hands, trade you for the bag of colding.
It sounds fair.
He's gonna reach in. He's gonna take the sickle out and put that back on the shelf.
The
And he
sickle?
puts the sickle that he put in to show you that it's a bag of
Oh,
holding.
yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So he'll put it on the table and take the sword from you, and he's gonna motion to open the sheath again.
Okay.
And look at it.
I will make certain that the spell renews.
Okay. I would say make me one more. Make me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
He's not paying a lot of attention, so I'm giving him disadvantage on his perception. He doesn't notice you cast the spell. Because he's holding it, you have to sort of, I believe, it's a touch spell as well.
I can't remember.
No, 30 feet. Okay, so yeah, he's completely convinced. As you're sort of looking at this, you can tell that he's a bit more shrewd than he's letting on. Pavuu, you're noticing that he's really making sure he's trying to check what's wrong with this, and he's making an investigation to try and break that illusion, but he fails. And she sits like, "Good doing business with you, sir."
Indeed.
Puts the bag
indeed.
down, puts his hand out,
I shake his hand.
shakes it vigorously, and he's like, "Good to see there's other businessmen in lands far away.
Make good use of it, lad.
No one's called me lad in 90 years. No one's ever called me lad. Strapping young man like yourself, you shouldn't be using old-timer speak."
Ah, old timer. You still got youth in you, lad.
No, it's Periwimple's the young one. Hey, Periwimple, come say hello to what did you say your name was?
Ah, Philandrius.
Flandrius. Yeah, come say hello to I'm sure it's a reference.
Pavuu will
Okay.
and turn to look at something on another shelf.
Yeah, I'm just
I'm
shaking my head.
sure this is a reference that I don't understand.
It's totally not. It's completely
But,
off the cuff.
A giant man steps around the corner, just as tall as Pavuu, but only slightly less massive. He sort of steps forward, and his muscles ripple beneath his leather tunic, and he's just like,
I'll vigorously reach out my hand and shake his, forearm to forearm sort of shake. Very
Beastmaster.
forward, very confident.
Power Ranger grasp.
he takes your hand and shakes it, probably like crushing your hand a little bit. But he's got a very sort of dull and listless look to him. Much like Eric, the barkeep in the inn, he only like half realizes that you're there. And he's just, "Hello,
It's a pleasure to
Power
make your
Ranger.
acquaintance.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Fan." He turns around and goes back outside, and Bildrath's like, "Don't worry about him. He's just a little simple-minded."
It's all right. It's all right.
They're always the strong ones.
But surely you've got many treasures from abound. Maybe you'd like to buy one of these good relics I've picked up over the years. And he's sort of showing you like these armors and these cloaks and all this stuff. And you're noticing that none of it looks Barovian. Like none of it looks like the stuff that you picked up in that house or that you found in the armor. Everything looks like it's dwarven made, and then this cloak looks like it's definitely elven. And this one actually comes from the Moonshae Isles. Like it's it's probably like 50 years old. Like it's not in fashion, but you recognize that silk as like this used to be Moonshae.
Is there a
I would
story to this one?
It's like, well, I'm sure there is. Every piece says got a story, but
As he flounders with that question, I would like to lean in and loom as much as possible with a fence between us, and ask him how long he's been in league with Strahd.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I was
Them
outside.
fighting
So.
words. Yeah, we're in the back.
Wow. All subtlety. Wow.
So,
I
That
just
went
start
out the-
whistling in my own head.
This is good cop, bad cop.
so his face drops, and he is like, "How dare you!" And he's not like he's intimidated by you, but he's sort of like looking up at you because you haven't done anything that looks like you're going to hurt him. He's like, "How dare you!"
You'll forgive my friend. He has Tourette's.
No, I'm gonna slam on the bars, and say, "How long?"
I have never worked with Strahd a day in my life, and I cannot believe that you would say such a thing. That is, we have been terrorized by that devil since the day I was born.
I'm gonna lean over and say, "Flee."
He's gonna make a wisdom save. What is your DC? He gets a 12.
It says my DC is 12, but that seems really low.
It should be 8 plus your proficiency, which is 10.
Plus your
Uh,
wisdom.
Plus your wisdom.
My wisdom is my wisdom is 12.
He resists.
Bollocks.
He calls for Periwimple and says, "Periwimple, show these men the door."
The door is right there.
I'm gonna
Good day to you, sir.
I'm gonna produce a jar of alchemist's fire.
Oh, jeez. This just went south very quickly.
I telepathically just talked to Pavuu. Don't we have things to trade for gold?
I've never known the paladin to be the one that leads us astray like this.
You can look up the domain, brother.
Whew.
Yeah. Do you want to make me an intimidation check?
Yes.
I will absolutely give you advantage on this.
Oh.
14 is not bad. That beats his sort of like fear save. And he's like looking at this alchemist fire. He's like, what are you doing with that?
I say, you know what this is, don't you?
That's that burning stuff that doesn't stop burning.
It'd be a shame to see what it did to a wooden building, don't you think?
What have I done to you to deserve this?
Where did you get the items, if not from Strahd's treasury? And dead adventurers, say, like us.
Adventurers like you come in all the time. I mean, the last one's been like 30 years, but not many people buy their stuff.
That's a long time.
I work with
We will
church.
take it. We'll take it. Or we can pick it from the rubble.
I'd like you to make me one more intimidation check, just to, because this is asking him something that's very important.
Dang, dude.
It did work the first time.
Just
His-
squeaking by.
He's like, this is my livelihood. The adventurers come and they die. And their stuff just gets left in there. Grave robbers will take it. I at
Then it
least give them.
costs you nothing.
It costs me a lot. I work with the Vistani to get the stuff. I work with the church where their stuff is buried.
I'm gonna raise the alchemist fire above my head.
So he's gonna put like something. What exactly are you trying to get?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He'll
I have a question.
yes.
The old man called the other Goliath, the skinny one, right?
He was human actually.
Oh, okay. So did Elphaba and I notice that he left that back room and
Yes.
hasn't returned yet?
He has returned already. He only entered in to shake Rhivan's hand and then go back. So
Right,
And
but
so-
when I was talking to the old man, he hollered for him again, didn't he?
yes, yeah, he did. So yeah, he would exit, and that room that you guys are outside is empty.
Okay. So I
So
roll.
the room is now empty?
Hasn't come back and start making my way back to the front. Because I feel probably
I'm
gonna
like
start
slinking my way to the exit.
Okay, so we're sneaking to the exit. Corvus, you're going back to the entrance.
Yeah.
Elphaba, do you follow Corvus?
So the big guy is gone.
The big guy is now in the main room, and this back room is now empty.
I'm just doing this to
Same.
Elphaba.
Is there
though. Sadly.
Anything in the back room?
Yeah, there seems to be shelves full of stuff.
What's your alignment, Elphaba?
Wow. Wow, I thought I was the
Gonna deal.
unscrupulous
I'm
one.
I'm
gonna go with Corvus. But I did think about it for
Okay.
a minute.
So, to Pavuu,
Wow.
he did call.
Well, you're rubbing off on me, Rhivan.
I'm the chaotic neutral one of the bunch, and
he did call
Wow.
for man to come, Periwinkle, but he's now pushing Periwinkle back into the back room. He's just going to flip open the sort of the lock on the side door for you to get into the main thing, and he's going to walk to the back room, slam the door on you guys, and sort of call out, "Ismark will hear of this!" and give you guys free reign of this shop.
I'm going to take the sickle and the glass.
All right. Do you mind if I take 5 while I figure out what the hell to do? I also need to gather. I just need to get some blood sugar stuff because I'm diabetic. I need to
yeah,
just.
no worries, no worries.
Do you
Be back in 5 minutes.
All right, guys, I'll pause the stream. starting it back up. One sec. Alright. We're live.
All right. So welcome back to Barovia's Most Wanted.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Grand Theft Barovia.
Barovia. Pavuu, our noble paladin, has just
Arsonist paladin.
Nobody said noble.
Nobody
Take that
said
back
no.
right now.
So you guys can collect this floating orb, this bag of colding, the magic sickle that looks elven now that you're closer to it, and that sort of black corded bracelet with tiny iridescent scales.
Oh, I forgot about the bracelet. I got the orb and the sickle. Is someone else can
I'll
that
take the
orb
bracelet. Yeah.
I'm not going to take anything.
So during a short rest, you guys can identify these items.
Didn't you also say there was like other adventurers gear?
Yes, anything that's on the adventuring gear handouts or chart that is 25 gold or less.
Oh, okay.
For now, we can just sort of say that if you guys do want to loot, you can loot, and then we'll figure out exactly what you have looted later.
I'm going to leave my hand bell that I got from the house and the spare leather armor. I'm just going to leave it here in the shop.
Okay. I'm sure that will make him feel better.
I'm also gonna leave my wand and the kukri, unless someone else wants it.
Oh, we're giving him goods in kind. I approve. I'll dump the crap we were carrying around to sell.
This
I'm
guy.
Good trade.
Good trade.
So,
So in a way, I sort of admire this.
do you guys leave Bildrath's? Bildrath is not going to show his face again for a little while. By now the sun is starting to go down. You think there's only probably about another hour of light left, and you guys have free reign of the town, really.
Is the pie lady around?
Oh God.
Don't eat the pie.
The pie is still in the town, but you can't see her from where you're at. Actually, let me roll a perception for you. Because your perception is massive, +8, you can tell that she's, just around the corner, down a couple streets.
The woman selling pies is a hag.
I'll be back.
That's an
Where's
By the
the
way-
an awfully
banana
rude
pie?
thing to say about a pie woman.
No, hag,
Could I snort
Like
a
literally.
fiend.
I would say you could snort a pie.
Like snort?
What the hell just happened?
What? What is going on right now?
This is going downhill.
What is going
No
on?
mouth. So, do you want to try this?
I'll mash it up for it.
I'm so confused all of a sudden.
Is she snorting a pie right now?
No, Zeros is.
Yeah,
Theros is snorting a pie.
Yeah, zero.
Because he
This
doesn't
is
have a
smell
mouth.
really good.
Oh
Zero. So
my.
Oh,
Make
my-
you a what?
a Constitution saving throw.
Oh God. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, you have never tried to eat something through your nose before, and it's not easy because the nose sort of doesn't connect well to that whole part. But you managed to do it with only like a little bit of choking. Keep in mind that when something is caught in your mouth, you can typically breathe through your nose. But you're able to do it. It is not pretty and it is not tasty because you don't taste things from your nose.
I
But
feel
you
like the
do
whole
feel-
campaign has gone sideways all of a sudden.
You do feel this strange euphoria as everything seems brighter. The voices in your head seem to dull, actually, and you lose your despair status.
Yay!
Sweet.
Oh, no.
So, question.
Yes.
Could I snort ale and get drunk?
I mean,
I think so,
if
yeah.
it goes through your nose, it goes faster, straight to the bloodstream.
I feel.
Okay.
What is
I would
going
say
on
yes.
right now?
But you'll have to make me con saves when you try and do that
Okay.
because the body was not made to get crunk through the nose.
All right.
So yeah, you guys can absolutely return to
Is this
the
real life?
Okay, now.
Strahd is just sitting there in the castle and he's just like, why
Why?
have I done this?
Like laughing at us. These are the
You're the one that brought
adventures
it up.
coming for me.
So do you guys want to go back to the mansion or anything else?
Yes.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to
Yes.
terrorize anybody else in this town?
Oh.
I'm-
Wasn't Delvin supposed
wasn't
to
a
buy
real
something? No.
Sorry, Zeros, what was that?
Wasn't Delvin supposed to buy something for the funeral?
Oh,
Powdered silver.
Yeah.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
So he
don't
was
have the
able
money.
to loot that? Since.
Nope. I didn't loot
Nope.
it.
It
It
sounds
sounds
not gonna
good.
steal. I
They
consider
didn't.
that
They didn't
stealing.
have any, right?
Yeah, he probably didn't have any actual powdered silver lying about.
Okay.
So when you get back to the place, the mansion, Ismark is pleased to see you, and he's like, "Oh, that armor looks good on you." And looks like you've got a lot from Bilgrath, huh?
We told him about our noble quest, and he actually was quite agreeable. It was surprising.
Is that what we're calling it?
That's strange. That doesn't sound like Bilgrath. He's been so sad ever since his wife died. But in any case, please, we've made some stew for you. It would warm your stomachs. And he feeds you guys. Him and Ireena have made some stew. It's not particularly well made. For Elphaba, Delvin, and Rhivan, it's perfectly fine. For the rest of you, it does not taste anywhere near as good as this pie.
I'm not snorting it.
You're not snorting it. That makes sense.
I'll make a point of thanking Ireena in particular for having made it.
She's thankful. She seems to have taken a shine to you, and while she's still kind of nervous about everyone else, she seems to be treating you as a friend. She finds you agreeable. During dinner, you guys can identify these magic items as a sort of short resty kind of thing.
Yes.
So I will tell you, the bracelet is a repellent-based bracelet. It's allows you to cause all tiny and smaller insects to flee a foot away from you, including those of a swarm. So if you get attacked by a swarm of spiders, this is gonna help.
I'm all over that.
Thank you, Johnson & Johnson.
The bag of colding is a bag of holding that everything is kept inside at 40 degrees, keeping any perishables chilled and fresh. You think that if you were to store pies in here, they would be well kept and would probably last for a week or so.
Not eat the pies.
It was a good pie.
The magic sickle is doesn't have a bonus, like it's not a +1 sickle, but it does deal magical damage. And at the very least, Delvin and Zeros can confirm that many magical creatures have this sort of magical resistance, which the sickle will bypass.
Very well.
And
There's spear. Is it a scythe or a sickle?
sickle.
Sickle.
Sickle's a hand-held item, yeah?
Yes.
Two-handed,
Like
though?
a
This
spear.
spear type.
Oh, that spear is typo. It should be sickle.
Okay.
I was wondering.
Sorry about that.
Okay. No. Okay. Good. Very good.
Yeah, a sickle
heard
is
about
like
all
a small. It's like a small handheld thing. It's not
Yeah.
a giant scythe. It's,
Oh no. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm
at
with you.
first, I read it grows a soft yellowish, and I thought, you mean glows? Oh no, it is. Okay.
And then finally, the chipped drift drift globe. It's a floats weightlessly on its own, and it's It seems like it's been damaged. Drift globes typically will follow and listen to your voice. This one seems to not listen to anybody, which is why it has a 60-foot metal chain embedded into it, which you have to drag along like a balloon. But it's basically a floating lantern.
Excellent.
Is that
Yeah.
something Delvin would be able to mend, or is that too magical?
It is too magical, unfortunately.
Crack that whip, Delvin.
Wapa. Okay.
Who wants to carry what?
I've got the bag of colding and the corded bracelet.
Okay. I seem to have lost Peter.
He's refreshing.
Okay.
His server connector has dropped.
Oh.
I will not touch the ill-gotten goods.
So as you guys are eating and
Sorry,
finishing,
Sorry. He would like the orb if somebody else would like the sickle.
He can
uh,
probably have both.
Great.
I don't think we're fighting over him.
the sickle might not be a bad thing for Corvus to have, just because it's magical. When you do,
Your hands turn magical, yeah.
because I think monk weapons are any simple melee weapons, which I think the sickle is.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I don't have the globe, so it's not like I can give him anything for it. He wants the globe, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
But you can have the sickle.
By the way, if Pavuu has the eye patch, and we're taking a short rest, does he know what that is as well?
It's non-magical.
Okay,
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
I wasn't sure.
So I'll wait for Peter to get back. And there he is. Corvus, do you want that magic sickle?
No, Pavuu can have both of them. I have no desire for the sickle.
Okay.
I will hold it. I do not have Rip, just so you guys know. If he wants to talk to me, somebody's got to do a relay for me.
He doesn't have a mouth, remember?
Right.
Do you have Peter?
La 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 la.
No,
la,
I
la.
can't see or hear him.
Okay. You guys cannot see or hear each other. We'll relay things.
Intermediaries.
Yeah.
So the dinner goes by well, and as the sun goes down, you guys hear a very frantic knock on the front door, like a major pounding. Ismark stands up from dinner, and it's like, who would be here at this hour? And he goes to the front door.
I'll go with him. I'll just get, just in case it's something of some danger.
I will
Okay.
also follow, but I'm thinking whether I may need to intimidate someone into keeping their mouth shut.
It is, in fact, Bildrath. And behind him is his massive nephew, Periwimple. And as he opens the door and sees Rhivan and Pavuu, he calls out, very emboldened. It seems like he has been drinking.
I will throw my finger across my throat as I see him open his mouth.
Make me another intimidation check. He doesn't notice. He is
I can't intimidate nothing today.
he is drunk, and he is like, Ismark Kolganovich, those two stole things from me. They threatened to kill down my door. They burned down my son. They're gonna.
I'm gonna look completely aggrieved and completely confused.
And Ismark's just like putting his hands on his shoulder, like, Bildrath, please come down. Tell me what is the matter here. And Bildrath's like, they broke into my place and they stole all those things.
What? What madness is this?
Make me a deception check. Because that is definitely a deception check.
Yeah. clicked it and it didn't do anything. There we go.
Um, so I'm gonna have Vildrath try and counter that with a persuasion check, and he does not get anywhere near that. So Vildrath, even with advantage, because Ismark knows Vildrath and knows Vildrath is trustworthy, and Ismark's just Vildrath, certainly you're drunk. Something must be wrong. You must be confused. Why don't I speak to you in the morning? It will be okay. And he's like, no, they took all my money. They took all my food. They took the bag of holding. The bag of holding. It's like, it's pronounced the bag of holding. It's been since like first edition, man. It's the bag of holding.
I think we raped his wife too, even though he doesn't have one.
And he is furious.
And I'm
Ismark's
looking
trying to calm him down.
genuinely aggrieved, like I'm insulted and like I'm wounded by the words.
Yeah, he believes you because you got a 26 on your. And Ismark just sort of like closes the door on Vildrath and is like, "I will come speak to you in the morning when you have sobered up." Click.
I have no idea what just happened. I thought we left on very agreeable terms. I had a good companion of mine that we had a very fine weapon, in fact, that we had no particular use for, that we traded for that bag of holding. I thought we had parted on amicable terms. I don't understand what might have happened. Is he prone to flights of fancy like this?
No, it is very strange for him to do this. I am quite concerned. Perhaps
Clearly the drink.
Perhaps someone has taken over your appearance. I have heard such things. I will speak to him in the morning. But for now, I apologize for whatever.
No. I apologize for this being brought to your doorstep. It offends me that such a thing would even have any sort of bearing on your thoughts.
So he's sort of nodding along and looks up at Pavuu, and it's just kind of like, do you have any recollection of this event?
I've never burned down anyone's door.
I'm going to ask for a deception check. Because... Okay. Oh, now I'm going to roll insight. Gets a 2. So, I probably you guys would learn a lesson from this at least some point, but no, he's perfectly. He's like, okay, well, I believe you. Let us turn in for the night.
Quite.
So as the sun goes down, you guys are given, blankets. He says that they don't really have the bedroom space for everybody, but they do get like pallets out for you guys to sleep on. And you guys can take a long rest.
I believe we should hold a watch.
Corvus?
Before they go to sleep, like when they're like about to turn in, I'm just like, have you had any pies from town lately?
Don't eat the pie.
Ismark will say, like, no, I've heard Morgantha's pies are quite good, but...
5 stars.
You should snort them.
What?
And then I turn it for the night.
I will, in honor of their hospitality, I'll actually play music for them. I'll play something that's, probably will sound foreign to them, something that sounds very much like it's from the Moonshae Isles.
Okay. Yeah, they, do you want to make me a performance check? Just to see how well they receive this. Yeah, that's not bad. They're enjoying it. Ireena is sort of enchanted, and is like, wow, I've always dreamt about seeing the outside world, but I never thought I would be able to hear it.
Well, maybe one day we'll actually get a chance to show you in person.
I I've lost hope on that a long time ago.
Keep
she
your
says.
hope, lass. Keep your hope.
Since you've shown us something, I can show you something of our culture. Well, I wouldn't say culture. At midnight, do you mind if I wake you up? There's something I should show you.
Please, I'd be intrigued.
Until then, I will let you rest. And she lets you guys sleep in. Corvus, you're the only one who's getting sort of this, why is she being a little coy about this?
Yeah, sneaky as fuck. Saying, I've been in her position. Don't do it.
So, yeah. Is there anything
I'm
you guys
gonna stand a watch.
yeah, you guys can, I mean, with the 6 of you, you guys can definitely take an hour-long watch and...
I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna sleep. I trust you.
Throughout the night, nothing really happens. Those of you who do watch, nothing encounters. But at midnight, she does wake up anybody who wants to be woken up and guides you to one of the windows that looks north towards the road. And she looks very somber as she sort of guides you, and she's like, this is something we call the March of the Dead. And as you look out, you look at an eerie green light suffusing the graveyard. From this light emerges a ghostly procession. Wavering images of dowdy women toting greatswords, woodwise men with slender bows, dwarves with glittering axes, and archaically dressed mages with beards and strange pointed hats. All these and more march forth from the graveyard, their numbers growing by the second.
Can I do like a perception or an insight roll to see like which direction they're going in?
You don't even need to roll. You can tell they're leaving the graveyard. They're getting to about the town square, and then they're going west down the road. The road out of town. Ireena also says, these, I believe, are the souls, the spirits of previous visitors who have died trying to destroy Strahd. From what I hear, every night they try to complete their quests, and every night they fail. They go to the castle and march to the chapel, where they throw themselves off of the cliff of Castle Ravenloft.
They eat pies.
Can I share with the group that I've had a dream about this?
Absolutely.
So I share with the group that I've had a dream about this, and an elderly woman dressed in colorful silks tells me that it's such a shame, and I only hope they accept their fate someday.
Ireena is kind of confused. She's like, colorful silks? Perhaps that's supposed to mean the Vistani camp. The march goes right past it.
Interesting.
If you are going to accompany me to Vallaki tomorrow, we do have time to stop there if you'd like to visit. I hear they have a great seer, Madame Eva, there.
It would be dangerous for you.
I don't think it would be. I've found nothing but friends with the Vistani.
We have a goal.
It is up to you.
Molasses seemed agreeable enough.
So during, she sort of finishes the conversation and gives you guys a nod as you go back to sleep. And nothing else happens throughout the night. As you wake, I would like everyone to make me wisdom saves, except for Pavuu, Corvus, and Zeros. Because
Yay, pie!
you guys had magical pie.
Should have eaten the pie.
It's the best kind of pie.
But for reals, can we find her before we leave town? 'Cause
So Delvin, Rhivan, and Elphaba, you guys are all safe. Elphaba is very close to succumbing to this despair, but she fights it off.
It's the dream. I had the dream. These people.
Pavuu, Corvus, and Zeros, as you wake up, you don't have any immediate effects, but after about an hour of being awake, you start noticing that the colors that you saw yesterday have dulled even more than normal. You feel almost an emptiness inside you, like
They're getting the shakes now.
yeah,
Charles, yeah.
you feel a little hungover.
Worst.
Ireena wakes you up slightly before dawn and says, and asks you if you still want to take her father to the church.
Of course, lass.
Yes.
With the help of all 6 of you, you can easily get this coffin to the church, assuming all of you would like to go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Church. You guys probably can't see anything. Give me half a sec.
Take me to church. Wait, wrong thing. Wrong genre entirely.
Here we go.
We get sparkle effects.
And then where is Ismark and Ireena? Areas of the village, church. Atop a slight rise against the roots of that pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft stands a gray sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back, and a flickering light shines through the holes in the shingle's roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. Ireena and Ismark go to the front doors and open them wide, where inside you see... move the token so it realizes that there's inside. There we go. The doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hallway leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on either side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers, and you can see that the chapel is strewn with debris. You hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer, but suddenly the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor.
Good.
Sarah's don't look so excited.
I mean, oh no.
Well, that was
Are
sincere.
we pallbearing? Is that what's happening?
Yes. So Ismark and Ireena sort of look at each other and head in and sort of call out, like, Father Donovich, are you there? The priest, Father Donovich, steps forward. He looks very haggard, like he has not slept for several days. The chapel is a shambles, with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor. Whoops, dragged it a little too far, but that works. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner of this room in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a cloth-scarred altar, behind which kneels the priest in soiled vestments. Next to him hangs a long, thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower. From beneath the chapel floor, you hear a young man's voice cry out, "Father! Father, I'm starving!"
Let's put down the coffin.
Yes.
Yeah, you put down the coffin, and Ireena and Ismark are just like, "Father Donovich, what is this?" And Donovich is like, "It is nothing, my children. What can I do for you today?" And you can tell that this man has not slept in days. Ismark and Ireena both kind of like look at you guys, sort of stunned and not sure what to say.
We look at
I
him.
would like to roll perception on this dude.
What do you mean?
Insight.
Or whatever, just to see like what the, like has he been binging on the blood of Christ or like what
Wow.
they need to know
Alright then.
intent or whatever it is.
So you feel like he just hasn't slept in a long time. He's not like drunk or inebriated in any way. He's just
Is he,
very
like worried or
very worried. Like he's been praying. You can see, based just on like the soiled knees that are covered in dirt and dust, he's been kneeling there for hours. if not days.
Was there any symbology around to say what this church
Yes, there is symbols more of the same. The Morning Lord.
Okay.
The same.
Okay.
Delvin, I'm going to put a hand on Delvin's shoulder. This is your province, lad. I'll let you take point on this.
Yeah.
Symbolism.
Donovich will say, like, "Oh, I heard that your father had died. You must be here for the entombment." And Ismark's like, "Yes, but what is that downstairs?" "Father, please! I hunger!"
or what?
Downstairs.
Has one of your parishioners turned into a vampire?
So at first, Donovich is putting on like a face like he doesn't know what you're talking about, but that lasts for about 5 seconds, and he's like, "Not a parishioner. That is my son, Doru."
Can father
Sure.
have that? Sorry.
And when he says that, Ireena sort of is like, "But I thought Doru died when he went to Castle." Oh,
Yeah. Well, he did.
Donovich,
Died.
he came back as a vampire, and I've been keeping him. I trapped him in the Undercroft. But
You know you cannot do that.
the Morning Lord will bring him back.
No. We must slay him.
No, you don't understand. The Morning Lord brings us back from the devil's clutches.
Not like this.
You back?
Not me, but as Ruts.
Then how can you leave?
We can handle it from here.
Please, no, as my son. You cannot kill my son.
He's no longer your son. He's a vampire.
I'd like you to make
He's a
me.
bloodthirsty beast.
I'd like you to make me a persuasion check, and I'm gonna give you advantage because you
Ish.
that you
All right.
know what you're talking about.
Hey!
That advantage is well placed.
Yeah, you think you're about to say something terrible for a second, and then you think better of it. You change, and you're like, okay, no, yeah. And Donovich sort of collapses to his knees, and he's like, "You don't understand. You don't understand. Not my son. Not my son. Anyone but my son."
Rhivan can stay out and console him while we go kill him.
Yeah.
He sort of says, like, he puts his hands in his face and he's like, "Go to the fourth door. There you'll find the door to the Undercroft where I keep him. Please just make it quick."
Of course.
I will put a consoling hand on his shoulder.
And as he's sort of not really consoled, he's just kind of like, "I have been praying day and night, hoping that the god will tell me how to save him." But you're guided to this door right here. Here.
Okay.
Who wants
All
to
right.
go and investigate this?
I'll go.
When the cleric
I'm
I'm
staying.
excited about
I'm
it. but-
staying back protectively with the priest and with Ireena and Ismark.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna put away my crossbow and ready my sword.
I also
was
pull out
going
my
to.
sword.
Sorry, Elphaba, what did you say?
I'm going to.
Oh, okay. I'll move your token there. So Ismark and Ireena are going to stay with the father and sort of say, like, if you need us, please shout. You guys enter this room that's areas. Where is it? Time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room. It contains a few broken shingles amid puddles of water, and in one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trap door, held shut with a chain and padlock. A young man's screams of anguish can be heard through the door. You can see.
Are they? They're not actually in the room yet, are they?
Yeah.
We're in this, that room.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I see the door on the floor now. I got it.
So you have the padlock isn't locked. It's sort of just held so nothing can come up. Though you can easily open it and head down. Would one of you like to open this door?
Delvin, this
Yeah.
seems to be your province.
Yeah, I'll open the door.
So I'm going to move your token onto the Undercroft map. You're still above this. I just want you to see. So what you see is the church's Undercroft has rough hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. Rotting wooden pillars strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling, and candlelight from the chapel above slips through the cracks, allowing you to glimpse a gaunt shape in the far corner. As you look down, Delvin, this shape hides behind one of the pillars and sort of stops screaming for a moment, and just sort of, you hear him whispering, but you can't make out what he's saying.
All right, I'll start going down with my holy symbol held out in front of me.
Yeah, there's a ladder. It's about 10 feet down. It's easy to go down, but it leads to a staircase that goes another 10 feet.
Okay. I will tell them from above. I will need assistance. So, but you can start coming down, and I'll walk down to the bottom.
So the figure sort of calls out quietly, just saying, like, "No, please, you need to leave. You can't be here."
It's okay. We'll end your suffering.
I disappeared. I'm gone.
You're under Zeros.
Oh, there I am.
Pavuu,
I'm gonna climb down.
all right, I will drag your token over there.
I am as well.
Me too.
Elphaba's next.
I guess I'm back.
Ran up the rear.
So, Delvin, as you stalk forward, he's just like, I can smell your blood. Please just give me a little of it.
I'm afraid we must end this wretched existence that you have.
I can't stop myself.
I understand.
How's
And
it-
I will hold my symbol out and say, with the power of Ogma, I command you to flee from this place, knowing that he really can't. So,
Dick move.
but at least we can turn around and we can pounce.
yeah, he's just all hunched up, one like ball of just tendrils and not tendrils, ball of just tenseness, and you see his face as he calls out, "I'm sorry. I don't want to kill you, but I must."
Goose Rabba.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, here we go.
Get it, girl.
Elphaba, you are the first one to react as you see Doru dash
shit.
from behind and head towards Delvin.
I am going to use a firebolt.
All right, he's gonna have cover because of the
Okay.
pillars, but that's just +2 AC.
Okay. What if I move? No, still no.
If you move to like here where you have a clear line of sight, the only thing is just he's behind a pillar right now.
Okay. So can I move there?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay.
Yeah, you've got 30 feet.
Perfect.
Down the stairs, get to a perfect line of sight of him.
Perfect. And let's do it. Where are you? There you are.
15 hits. Does over top of him. He is not badly.
Darn.
Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna move over here. Just kind of out of his line of sight.
All right. You've already moved your whole
Oh,
thing.
just kidding then.
Just thinking about moving really
Fine.
hard.
Yeah.
There.
Sorry about that. I will here,
Okay.
and I will cast Eldritch Blast.
All right. Good luck. He dodges. You sort of clip him on the side of the shoulder, but you can tell that his undead flesh is very hardened and resistant.
Okay, and I'll end my turn.
Pavuu.
I am going to move to here, and I'm going to ready an attack action.
Yeah, if he comes within 5 feet of you.
Yes, sir.
Rhivan, you can hear the sound of a firebolt and an eldritch blast. Blast off downstairs.
I assume vertical distance doesn't count for in range.
Yeah, you're about 20 feet above where they are.
Would... Dissonant Whispers says that creature of your choice within range can hear?
The line of effect rules, you could probably actually peek down and find him in the floor, but I'll say that's a bonus action to properly find the right floorboard that you can see him.
Okay. Well, I will try to do so and cast Dissonant Whispers.
All right. He gets a save.
Yeah, I think it's a
If you
wisdom.
click the
It's a
spell-
wisdom saving throw. Yeah, 1 sec. Oh,
Oh, that's what I need to fix, the DC on it, to make sure that the DC
Yeah.
pops up.
it's a DC 13.
DC 13?
Yep.
Make sure you refresh your spell slots.
He calls out and he's doesn't seem to be affected. He's like, I've heard these whispers before. So that was your bonus action. Do you want to move or stay where you're at?
I'm staying where I'm at.
All right. Ismark's going to grab his longsword, and he's got a longsword and a short sword, and is going to start moving towards the door, just sort of at the ready. Doru is going to dash out from behind this pillar and charge at Pavuu. You get your attack.
Yes, please.
Oh, before this, you notice that little damage from the firebolt actually heals over time.
Oh no.
He regenerates.
Well, I have something for him.
17 hits him dead on.
This still has a +2 from.
Oh, from dueling?
Yep.
All right. No, because it's 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
So that 5 is correct.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the other thing. And I'm going to smite the shit right out of Doru, and lay a divine smite on him as
Yeah.
well.
Absolutely. He is undead, so that is 15 radiant damage. So the first thing you notice is that your blade does not go nearly as far into his skin as it should. He is resistant to non-magical attacks, but he is not resistant to radiant. That sears him and sort of burns flesh flecking off of him. That is actually going to give him radiation sickness and make him unable to regenerate.
Ah,
Corvus. Or sorry, it's still Doru's turn. I thought that was Pavu's turn, but no, Doru is going to make his attack. The first one is a claw that reaches out and tries to get your throat. He gets a 17 to hit.
not enough.
The second is going to be the same thing, getting a 13.
Nope.
You could tell that he is not trying to damage you. He's trying to grab you in such a way that he can bite you.
I will not be grappled.
That makes it Corvus's turn.
Okay, so I want to see if I can move here. 'Cause I have 40 steps, but just going straight diagonally and just kind of zigzagging around these poles.
Yeah, that would work. You have to go down the stairs, but you'd be able to make it.
Okay, so I do that, and then I'm going to attack and use Flurry of Blows,
All right.
which I can boop again.
Perfect. So the first attack doesn't get any of those effects, but
Right. So
you crit with
Oh,
your first attack.
jeez.
Yeah.
That is 7 plus 4, 11. So because he is resistant to non-magical damage, he only takes 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Still
I've
good.
got those spots, so
The second attack hits dead on, does 2 damage, and what effect would you like to give him?
I can pick an effect.
Yeah, do you see that the open hand flurry of blows that you posted in the chat?
So let's do.
So
If she
you can,
pushes him, do I get an opportunity attack?
not on forced movement.
Okay.
Sorry, Corvus, what did you say?
So I would say to. You can make him prone, knock him down.
All right, so he is going to make a dexterity saving throw, and he gets a 17, which definitely beats your whatever DC you've got, because I think yours would be like 13 or 14. So you try, unsuccessfully try and trip him, and then your second unarmed strike, or your third misses. But he stumbles back for a few seconds, and he's sort of surprised that you have done this. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Rhivan, you notice Donovich fall to his knees and sort of cover his head with his hands as he's like, "No, not my son, not my son." Delvin, you're old, so your initiative was really low.
How do I do the measurement? I don't think I've ever done that with the measuring the steps.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
How do I measure the steps? Like trying to.
Oh, if you click and drag your token, you can hit right-click, and it will create waypoints.
All right, there we go. Whoa, hello. That was interesting. All right, so I'll move there and attempt a guiding bolt.
Yeah,
into him.
absolutely.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you do not hit.
That
You
would've
do
been
not have
monster.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bolt goes flying over his head, and he sort of dodges from this holy light that burns him like fire.
Okay.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
All right, Elphaba.
Okay, I'm going to move here. And use Firebolt.
You'll have disadvantage because you
Okay.
are right beside him.
Okay, can I move there?
Yes, but you're still adjacent to him.
Bugger. There?
You can, but you'll trigger an attack of opportunity from him if you leave the track.
Okay. Where was I? Here?
Behind Theros.
Zero?
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
you could go here.
Okay.
Then you a line of sight without cover.
Okay. Perfect. And I'm gonna use Firebolt. Bugger.
You hit again. 1 point of damage.
That wasn't intentional.
Nailed it.
No.
He's mad, I tell you, mad.
Ireena is. So Ireena, sort of looking down at the crack that Rhivan is looking at, he sees that Doru is attacking Pavuu mostly, and she calls out and says, "Pavuu, you can steel yourself for this. I believe in you." And you take temporary hit points. As her
believe in me too.
her words, which normally, as I assume you wouldn't really care what she thinks, somehow warm you inside.
Nice.
Zeros.
Okay, I will move to be adjacent to Corvus
Perfect.
and use my Pact Glaive.
Yeah, so you summon this
Oh, wow.
magical glaive, which, so you haven't cursed him yet. Or used the hex
What?
blade.
What was that? Sorry.
You haven't used the hexblade curse or the hex.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why that was clicked.
So it would only do 6 damage, but it is magical damage, which gets past his radiance. That's why I was saying Corvus should have that sickle, because it at least does magical damage.
Yeah. Hindsight's 20/20 if we have glasses.
And he is, fully hurt by your magical damage.
And since never mind.
All right. Pavuu.
Can I use a bonus action to try and toss the sickle to Corvus?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll unhook it off my belt and toss it to Corvus, who's standing next to me. And I'll try and strike at the poor wretch again.
All right.
And I will use inspiration. Excuse me, not inspiration. What is the thing I want to do that lets me add 10 to my attack?
Oh, your channel divinity, I think.
Yeah, that one. Boom. Guided strike.
So that's when you make an attack roll, you can see it after the roll, but before, yeah, you hit dead on.
And I'm going to smote him again. Where are we? Divine Smite.
So 9 slashing, 16 radiant damage. And the slashing only does 4 round down. But he is starting to look really beat up. As he is bleeding this sort of dark ichor-like blood. He hisses up at you, Pavuu.
Bring it.
Rhivan.
I think I have to have line of sight for bardic inspiration, don't I?
I would, yeah. I'd say you'd be able to see them all right. Because actually, you only need to
Well,
hear
no,
them.
yeah, you only have to hear. So I will cast. Who has it? Who's next on the?
Corvus.
I will cast bardic inspiration on Corvus.
Give us a ditty.
I have nothing prepared. Jazz hands.
He's the weakest part of the vampire is the spine.
Otherwise,
If you attack
he
that with
is
your
just
full
fine.
roll- I was gonna say exactly that. I was gonna rhyme with spine. Ismark, wait.
And I have drunk all my wine.
Duru looks around trying to find the weakest armored opponent. Corvus is not wearing any armor. Though Corvus is very dexterous.
Yeah.
He turns from Pavuu and slashes at Corvus, getting a 14 to hit. Does that hit you?
My AC
I'll
is
use
6.
my reaction to give him disadvantage on that attack.
Disadvantage is 8 to hit, so he easily misses you. The second attack, however, gets an 18.
That hits, for sure.
So you feel like his claws are razor sharp, and they are now around your throat, but they are not hurting you. He's not actually damaging you. He's just grabbing you.
Yeah.
But he tries to. You feel like on his turn, he's going to try and wrench your neck back. It is your turn. So
Do I take any points of damage from that?
no damage. You're just grappled. So grappled means that you are. You can't move though, or you can't leave your square, but you can do anything you want. You can still attack. You can still do anything like that. You can, as an action, try and break the grapple.
So Pavuu threw the sickle to me,
Yes.
and I'm going to attempt to catch it. I'm bardically inspired, though, if I'd like to be.
And you're only like 3 feet away from Pavuu, so it's not. Yeah, you can absolutely catch the sickle. I've added it to your sheet already, so you can just use that.
Hallelujah, thank you. Okay, so I would like to attack Mr. Screamy. I can just do one attack, right?
Yeah, just one attack, and then you can flurry of blows after if you'd like.
Alrighty.
So she can't attempt to get out of the grapple?
She can if she wants to, but it's an action.
Okay.
Better to just stab him.
So yeah, what would you like to do?
So I would like to attack, but I guess I have to. It's not the same. Oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry.
14 does not hit.
Well, she's inspired.
Bardic Inspiration. Do you want to spend your Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah, screw it. Let's do it.
All right, roll me a D8. A D8 or D6? Rhivan?
I don't recall right off the top of my head. One sec. D6.
The minimum you can roll is a 1, and he has a 15 AC, so you hit dead on.
Okay.
4 slashing damage. Your sickle strikes through him like butter.
Like butter, baby.
Do you want to use your flurry of blows?
Yeah. So I'd like to go ahead and do that again and do 2 unarmed strikes, or do I get to use my weapon as well?
I think they're just unarmed. Yeah, they're just 2 unarmed.
Okay.
14 misses, but the 18 hits. What effect would you like?
Let's go ahead and make him. I want to push him away 15 feet.
Sure. So he has to make a strength save. He gets a 7. So you push him 15 feet away from you. Huh?
Would she be able to, because I'm standing right behind him and there's a wall?
I presume you can push in any direction.
Okay.
Just slap him to the left.
And that breaks the grapple, so he is no longer holding on to you.
I'm done.
Donovich sort of holds onto Rhivan, your legs, and he's just like, they're hurting him! They're hurting him!
I'll try to comfort him.
Delvin, it is your turn.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah. I am going to bless, and I will affect Zeros, Pavuu, and Corvus.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You guys feel blessed, and you can add the check on that blessed status effect that I've added to everyone's sheets. I hope I added everyone's sheets. I forget if I did.
I has.
Any bonus action from you?
I will move back.
He bravely ran away.
I never did.
Elphaba.
Oh. I am going to move here and use the poison spray.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So click that attack again.
Sorry, it was no.
No worries. Yeah. He fails. So, poisons.
Nice.
I thought undead were immune to poison, but I guess
Oh.
blood drinking poison undead are not, because it does not say that he's immune to poison.
Yeah.
He takes the full 6 damage from this poison as he coughs up more of this ichor-like blood.
Nice.
Did you want? So I think you moved 40 feet, or 20 feet. If you want, you can move 10 feet away.
Sure.
All right. Ireena doesn't have anything she can do, but Zeros,
Okay.
you feel Delvin's blessed, scourging through you.
I will move over here. And I can attack from here with my glaive, correct?
Yes, with range.
Reach weapon.
You missed, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, did you
Oh, add the bless.
add a 1d4?
Well, it'd be D4. But
Yeah, 14 wouldn't hit.
Okay.
But you are standing in front of Elphaba, protecting her from Doru's mad embrace. I don't know what I'm saying. Pavuu.
I'm going to move to here and try and strike him once more.
Ooh,
Oh.
Dead on.
Wow.
nice.
That
Not a
is
crit, but
5 slashing damage. Did you want to smite or?
No, I'm not going to smite.
All right. He is almost dead. He would not survive another hit like that. Rhivan.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll throw. You know what? No, I'm gonna just save my action.
Yeah, maybe use your action comfort.
Yeah.
Donovan.
Yep.
Ismark's gonna wait away. Doru, seeing that Zeros is less armored than Pavuu, is going to step down. So attacks of opportunity happen when someone leaves your reach. So Pavuu doesn't get one and Zeros doesn't get one. It is going to try and claw you, Zeros. Getting a 25.
Ooh,
Ouch.
jeez.
You are not damaged. You just have your neck reached back as he uses his second attack, which is going to be a bite, getting an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
You can hear him sucking like he's trying to use you as a
Chainmail
scorpion.
So that's a
Corvus.
-8, correct?
No, 8 to hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess
he
you're
missed you.
You miss, yeah.
Okay.
Corvus.
All right. So he's back here. I will get up in his face again and attack him when it decides to load. Okay, well, I'm gonna go in with the sickle again.
Nice.
Nice. 22 hit. 3 slashing. He is not quite dead, but he looks like he will die very shortly. Do you want to use your last key points?
Yeah, so let's see. Guess I'll use Flurry of Blows. So Ghost
Ooh.
monster.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right when you need it.
You're
So
welcome.
your
This
first
is
attack-
Sparta.
Double crit.
So your
Oh,
unarmed
you.
strikes don't get past his regeneration, but he takes 3 damage from the first one, and then 2 damage from the last.
All right.
Huzzah.
Um. Okay, yeah. So vampires spawn when they reach 0. They die.
Good.
He fully dies.
Bye, Felicia.
I will go and take his body to his father.
Yeah. The combat round is over, and the room is silent except for the sobs of Donovich upstairs.
Can we check the body first? Just saying.
No, not while I'm carrying it.
So the body.
I'm going to check the Undercroft before we all go upstairs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
While he's checking the body.
There's actually nothing in the Undercroft. It seems like it's a storage room that no one has gone in a very long time except to put in Doru. You find some basic waste that you would find from a person who was locked up for a week. His body doesn't have anything on it. He's wearing rags, really.
Slave rags?
Not slave rags, but not fancy clothes.
I will tell Father Donovich I am deeply sorry for his loss, but he is better off this way.
He does not seem convinced. He seems to stop sobbing and just sort of has this dull, listless look about him as he's like, "Yes, I understand, my son." No, that's all he responds with. Ismark and Ireena kind of like, perhaps some work will get your mind off of it. Our father needs to be interred. And Donovich is like, yes, yes, let us go do that ceremony now.
Or if you would like, we would honor your son as well.
I will deal with Doru on my own.
If
I
you-
don't want his murderers to be at his funeral. He's very sad. He leads Ireena and Ismark. They take the body out to the plot for the family. You can see that he is actually gone, and he's taken some powdered silver from the from underneath sort of one of the drawers. You can tell that that's probably going to be used for a ceremony.
Exactly.
Do you guys mind if we take 5?
Not at all.
Quite all right.
All right, I will see you guys in just a minute. All right, tell me when we're live.
We're live.
Oh, all right. Welcome back to the Vampire Slayers, Buffy et al. Your party token should be up at the church here. So Donovich goes off to do sort of the important things, and Ismark and Ireena eventually come back a few minutes later after the ceremony is complete. Donovich doesn't come back and says that Ireena says that he's going to sort of stay out there for a while. Apparently he wants to be alone with his thoughts. And with that, Ismark says perhaps it is a good time for you to depart.
What time is it?
It's probably like 6:30. Like it's still before like barely dawn.
Okay.
Do you know where he got that powdered silver from?
No, I do not. It is just part of his collection, I believe. But I must go. I promised Bildrath that I would go speak to him. Hopefully he's sobered up. Ireena, I wish you all the luck in the world. Please write to me as soon as you get back. As soon as you get to Vallaki. And Ireena sort of nods, and they give each other a warm, brotherly embrace.
I will shake his hand and say, I thank you for your hospitality and best of luck to you.
He just gives you a nod and doesn't say anything. Do any of you else respond to him before leaving, or?
Just thank them for his hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thank him telepathically. Tell him to really try one of those pies and maybe snort it if he
We're
wants
just gonna have to call you Orko.
You have a lovely home.
So as you leave the town, presumably there's nothing else here that you guys would like to do. You get to the town square and start heading towards the road out of town, and you smell the smell of freshly baked pastries coming from down the road.
Yeah! My friend!
As you get to sort of the final crossroads, you see Morgantha up at this house in the corner here. She is having not a heated conversation, but a sort of a terse conversation with a family who is standing outside, a man, a woman, and there seems to be a 5-year-old son. And as you investigate and look a bit closer, you see her take a sack and put it over the boy's head, and then take him by the scruff of the neck and sort of push him into a compartment under the cart.
Morgantha does that?
Morgantha does that. The mother and father seem helpless. Neither of them are crying, but they both look especially distraught.
How far away are we?
About 100 feet, not very far.
I will cast Guiding Bolt at her.
Oh, it's on. It's on.
All right, give me one moment.
It has 120 feet range, so.
Too close to missiles, we're switching to guns.
What just happened?
Wow.
Look at all those pies we're gonna get.
No, don't eat the pie.
They're made of children.
That's right.
They're really tasty, children.
No. No.
Roll me. Oh, that's represent. Roll me the guiding bolt.
Much better.
Wow.
What am I missing on this? Rhivan. And Ireena's there too. You hit her dead on. 15 radiant damage. What is a hag stat block? Radiant. So the radiant just goes through all of her defenses, and she sort of staggers back.
I'll then use thaumaturgy and say in a voice 3 times, let that boy go.
She turns to you and says, "How rude! I offered you free pies!"
Don't make her mad. I want more pie.
I would like to begin running.
Technically, Delvin was
She
with us.
sort of takes the boy back out and takes the sack off and like shoves him into the home.
Okay.
Shoves him back into the home. Do you guys want to roll start an encounter?
Delvin,
I'm fine now.
I'm already running.
Yeah, so Pavuu starts to run
The
and
cart has an initiative of 2. I just want everybody to note that. Please note. Cart.
token. Pavuu starts to run, and Delvin casts a spell. Corvus, you were the first one to react to this.
I have no idea what's going on still.
Oh, me neither. I'm with Rhivan.
I guess I'm just seeing how close I can get to salvage some pies before it's destroyed.
You just have to get there before the cart has an action.
The cart has
I don't know how far. Well, I guess this isn't a battleground, so.
It is. So
Don't you hear the music?
remember, when you move your token, you can use the right click to sort of set waypoints and determine how far you can move. So you've moved 50 feet.
Left and right.
Okay, but I have to go back 10. Because I can only move 40.
Right.
So I guess here.
Each square is 5 feet.
Okay, well, my math is awful.
So what action would you like to do?
I'm just gonna run up and be like, wait!
So you can take a dash action if you want to move your speed again, or ready in action, or just not take any action at all.
I'm just gonna try and get as close as I can, so I guess it.
Dash action works.
And how far can I go?
40 feet. I think. Whatever your speed is.
40 more in addition?
Yeah, that's the dash
Just
action.
second move action.
Sorry, 1, 2, 3. 'Cause my thing does not work as well as
Oh, it doesn't let you right click?
no, I'm on a Mac.
Wah, wah.
So I can do some things. I'm guessing that's 8 cubes.
There's also a ruler tool on the left top corner that you can use. So you can actually get right adjacent to her if you'd like.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. There you go. Hallelujah. Thank you for the assist.
All right, so you run as fast as you can. You get right up next to her. Zeros.
Oh boy. Okay, I will move 1. I guess up till here, and I will hold my turn and see what she does.
Yeah, you have to. You actually have to ready an action.
Okay. If she attacks, I will also attack with my Eldritch Blast.
Okay, sounds good. Elphaba.
Okay, I am going to move here. And yep, I'm gonna ready with firebolt. But I'm not gonna do it. I just want to wait to see what
Ready
she
a firebolt. Sees what she does.
Yeah.
So she's going to see that Corvus runs like super fast, faster than any human she's seen. Sort of hold back. She still has the guiding bolt on her. I don't know why removed. She sort of steps back. She's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's no need for violence here. We're all friends here. I'm just lovely Morgantha.
More pies.
Please, just stop your fighting. We could talk this out. Pavuu, what would you like to do? I decided to keep initiative because I imagine you're not going to take that.
At the end of a charge, can you make a grapple attack? I don't remember how the rules for that work in 5e.
There is no charge attack in 5e.
Oh,
Right.
can I just barrel into her?
You could push her.
I
Well,
want to jump onto her.
you wouldn't be able to do that without an action.
Mm.
You have to dash and get sort of as close as you can.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I will dash. Now let's. I'm gonna. What am I doing? That's the wrong. That's a ruler. Marr! I'm gonna dash to there.
I don't think you have that much movement speed.
Let's see. I think that should be.
That's 75, and I think you've only got 30.
Oh right, I'm just thinking I was Corvus for a second.
Next time.
So 60 would get you there.
That's what I said. Clearly.
All right, so you're just on the other side of these delicious, delicious pies.
Eyes.
Delvin, she is sort of holding her hands up. She's not fighting. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll move forward with everybody else. I don't intend to attack her again unless she makes an action. So I'll move there, and I will ready. I'll ready another guiding bolt just in case she does make a move.
Then Rhivan.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm bewildered at this point in time. I will take opportunity if need be for another action later on.
Okay. Corvus, what would you like to do?
So can I distract her and like try and rip the kid out from underneath the thing at the same time?
She's already taken the
Right
kid out and pushed him into the house.
Oh.
Into her house?
No,
No.
this is the family's house.
His parents'
Okay.
house.
She didn't see it because
perfect.
she was running so fast.
Right.
Missed
Blur.
You
Right.
could grapple her, try and hold her and make sure she doesn't try and escape or something, or...
I'm gonna try and just like tackle her into the house.
Yeah. Make me an athletics check.
Okay.
And she is going to try and counter with her own athletics. So you can tell that she is much, much stronger than an old lady. She is, as you said, a fiend. However, she only got a 15. So you don't like just tackle her into the wall. She is like struggling back. But you do eventually get her like stuck against this wall.
Okay.
She's unable to sort of break. And she's still just like, no, I'm just Granny Morganta. You have a granny, don't you?
Can I use a bonus? Like I don't know if I can see like the door handle, but can I use a bonus action to see if the handle is unlocked and try and turn it?
The door is still open from when she pushed the kid inside.
Are we anywhere close to it?
It is right here. Whoops, I'm not on the right tool. It's right here.
Okay, so I couldn't like shove her through the doorway because the card's in the way.
Yeah, the card is in the way.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna try and hold her.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's sort of telling you guys like, no, I'm perfectly harmless, not gonna hurt you at all. But Corvus and Delvin, you guys, actually, everyone except for Zeros, thinks that she is not a great liar. And Zeros is this close, but 12 versus 11.
She's fine.
She's a nice lady.
So Zeros, you didn't think this is a nice lady, although you did see her, steal a child, so make with that as you will.
That kind of cuts through a little bit of the deception.
I will telepathically ask her like why she was putting a child under her cart, even though she is a nice old lady?
She'll say like, "Why did I take a child?" Well, they didn't pay. This is part of the payment plan. It's all legal. These families, they love my pies so much that they'll pay anything, even their child. Not my fault.
So what were you going to do with the child?
That's as bring them to a better life.
Make mint.
That's pie.
Pie.
You guys do detect that she is deceiving you.
Do I detect that she's deceiving me?
You do.
Okay.
But just barely.
I'm back here going, I am so glad I did not eat a pie.
Me too.
I didn't either.
Okay. I will hold my turn, I guess. Until someone else attacks her.
Delvin, what are we doing with this thing?
She let the boy go.
Elphaba, do you want to keep readying that fireball?
Yes. I mean,
Let the town deal with it.
seems pretty. She hasn't attacked us yet, so
Okay.
just gonna ready and fire.
So I'll assume you guys are all readied for whatever she does.
Oh boy.
I'll go out of combat for the moment as she doesn't seem to be wanting to attack or anything. She's just like, please, you are visitors to this place. I have a great amount of information that would be helpful to you.
About what?
I can tell you about, well, most people care most about Strahd.
Mm-hmm.
I know many things about him.
Such as?
Well, I'll tell you if you promise to let me go about my day. If you unhand me, you strapping young you.
By the way, is Ireena still with us, and what is her reactions?
Oh, I completely forgot.
Yeah, I'm back. I was back with Ireena.
I bet.
Yeah, I'll say that because I forgot them. They probably were, around the corner, and Ireena would be talking to you like, "I'm sorry you had to see the dangers of Barovia." And as you turn the corner and see all of this, like manhandling Morgantha, she's going to sort of step forward, confused and just a little bit angry, and sort of call out like, "What is going on?" Not she's not accusing you guys, but she is kind of like demanding an explanation. And yeah, what do you guys respond to, Ireena?
She was taking this child, and I could not stand it.
Like I said, it was just a payment. Oh, people. And Ireena's like, Morgantha, I have never known you to take children. And she's like, well, it's good money. Let us not be distracted. Of course, I have information, and I will gladly give it to you if you just let go of me.
Information and pies.
Yes. I'll give you another free sample, all of you.
No.
For the record, I
Say
don't.
yes.
I don't want pie.
We have the bag of colding.
I don't want pie either.
I can tell you that Strahd has enemies in Barovia. Undead enemies. Namely, the fallen knights of the Order of the Silver Dragon. They can be found in a ruined mansion west of Vallaki called Argenvastholt.
The Fallen Knights of the Silver Dragon?
Order of the Silver.
Yes.
Can anyone make an insight check to see if she's lying or it's a trap?
It's a trap.
You guys actually think she's telling the truth. She doesn't seem to be particularly afraid of Strahd, so she's just like, I can tell you other things. I can tell you about his powers.
I'd like to peek into this doorway and see what the hell this family's doing.
So the family is hugging the child, and the mother looks like if She looks like she should be crying and sobbing, but there's no tears coming from her eyes. And you do smell the smells of pie inside their house.
Mm.
They're pie hoarders.
The best
What
kind of
power?
order.
What powers
No,
do
no.
you speak of that he possesses?
He has mastery over the land and the weather. He can change things at a whim. But before I tell you more, you haven't said you're going to let me go yet.
I may remove your head from your neck, fiend. Answer the questions or die like a dog.
How do I know you're not going to try and kill me?
You don't.
That's just not good enough. She's going to close her eyes, concentrate really hard, and start turning invisible. Everyone gets their reaction now.
She's invisible?
She's turning invisible.
Turning it.
Interesting.
Even though Corvus is still holding her?
Yes, it is. This particular version of the spell is not. Doesn't have somatic.
I'm
Wow.
gonna shout fairy fire.
So you guys all get a reaction. I'm going to roll your guys' initiative. Morgantha will be considered surprised for this round. Corvus, you are the first one to act.
So she starts disappearing while my hands are up.
Yes. So she,
Corvus
right
still
now,
holding her?
at this moment, she is like 50% opacity. You can still see her, and you still feel her. She's not going ghostly. She's just going invisible.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pull her into my arms and hug her.
Yeah. So you already have her grappled, and she's gonna have to try and break this grapple if she wants to do anything. Somehow I have closed a bunch of things on this screen, and I cannot see anybody. I have to refresh. Give me 1 sec.
So Rhivan's been like frozen for like the past 10
Yeah,
minutes.
Yes,
I've noticed
yes.
that. One,
Yeah.
let me re.
But you're smiling. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're happy.
No, I'm just really happy. So
You got some Botox done?
yeah, I'm really good at being very still. 1 sec, I'll reconnect.
I don't know what to do with this bitch.
Use camera.
I'm just gonna whisper, "Tell me your secrets" in her ear.
I'm back. And I don't see Rhivan anymore.
Yeah,
He's
can you
refreshing.
guys hear
Okay.
me?
So yeah, Corvus, you already have her grappled, and yeah, you can just maintain that grapple on her.
One second, guys. Technical difficulties. I will start the stream again momentarily once this has been resolved. I apologize.
Oh, yep. Let's do it.
Can you guys hear me?
Doing it. She seems mean.
You do not hit her hardened old lady skin.
Damn it. She's mean.
Delvin.
This is the problem occasionally with Roll20.
There we go.
20 hits. Radiant damage. She is.
No.
Oh, did you stop the stream?
Yeah, well, I had to because I was not connected. So.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So I'll have to be the remainder of the game as a Shiba head with earphones. So.
Shiba.
There's only 15 minutes left, and I think this might be a good time for a cliffhanger because Corvus's turn is next, and she is not here.
All right. So
she
what happened?
She just sort of went invisible. I tried to go invisible. Everyone wailed on her, and she hasn't had a turn yet.
Okay.
So Morgetha is trying to get away from you guys, but Pavuu, Corvus is grabbing them, and everyone else is just throwing spells and stabbing her with stuff. Yeah.
As one does.
with this cliff hanging, we will call it a night.
Alrighty.
All right.
Shall see what happens.
Damn
I'm sure
hags.
to get, stop trying to steal the kid. That was what I was concerned about.
And
Next time I go stealing shit from innkeepers, you can't say nothing. Attacking poor old ladies in the street.
I did not say anything, if you noticed. I did not say anything. I just did not participate. I am neutral good. There's a reason for that.
All right, I will. I'm gonna turn off the Roll20 chat, or I guess I'll leave it on for a while. I just want to make sure that I don't go in to edit stuff and am not wearing clothes by accident.
Well, that's an important distinction.
Wear pants.
Wear pants.
That is
At least pants.
well
least-
for those
Well, I
watching
mean,
this,
you
those-
can't see half down.
That's right. That's right.
True.
for those
Sorry,
watching
sorry,
the
wear a
stream,
Shirt.
yeah, for those
You're good.
watching the stream, I apologize for the last bit of chaos with the stream. I don't know what happened, but whatever the case.
It's probably because the DM wasn't wearing pants.
That's
I
fair.
don't blame him.
I'm
Roll 20 went
wearing
blind.
all the pants.
Aw, Mick. You're the best.
I only the best for you guys. And that is pants. And
Yay, pants.
all right, I will catch you guys later. Enjoy the whoever has figured out the rotation tool,
All right, thanks, guys.
and have a good night, guys.
All right.
Bye,
Good night,
Mick.
everybody.
Thank
See,
you.
Have a
see you
good one.
later.
Thanks.